to take a 2 YouTube videos to like a camera.
Yo, camera's not just fucking 2 YouTube videos. No, my audio is low.
Yeah, it could be no YouTube videos. You see my pictures? Do you
Okay,
think I know how to use a camera?
I be learning a lot of things. I don't know that at the end of the day I'm gonna be a photographer. Like I'm learning how to put myself in the middle of the frame and have my selfies not be stuff people make fun of me for. And I'm learning how to like make it a little bit less blurry. It's a progress thing, okay? Not all of us be
You
visual
gotta,
like you.
you gotta work on not taking pictures in pink. What was the outfit? Was it the purple
Yo,
shirt, the
it
pink
was
pants?
tie-dye pants and a pink
Oh,
shirt.
I saw that. I was just like, "What? Hold it." I'm like, I know you have better style sense than this. Like that was just like I'm trying to come off
Yeah.
super friendly, and I get it. I
I was
actually do
just
get it. Like
I
I'm
really
none.
like those pants a lot, but I was like no, those pants are hard. You go to raving, those pants is over. Like they're
What
raving
do
pants.
you go to? I don't go to raves. I
I go
haven't been
I
to a rave ever.
yo, we're going to yo, what's up, Olivia? Yo, it's on my Instagram, HSR514. You will see it, and it really stands. Yo, it got way more likes than I thought, dude. It got way more likes than I thought it was gonna get. I thought, and I didn't get lampooned as bad as I thought I was gonna get. I think people at this point are just like, whatever, it's Holden. Anyhow,
Nice man.
we are live AF at this point. Welcome back to Bridge the Gap. We have ActionFiggySkinny, aka Skin Deep, with us. This is the part two to his whole conversational times with us. It's been almost 2 years since he was last on the platform. I checked it. It was May 15th, 2021, and we are now February 13th, 2023.
2023.
And that shit was a 5 hour interview. So if y'all want to really get to know Skinny over here, you have a 5 hour experience waiting on the same
Yeah,
channel you're watching this on. And I highly
yeah.
recommend it because it doesn't go to 5 hours unless that was a fun conversation because ain't nobody sitting in a chair that long unless it's a good conversation.
No, no
But
one's sitting in a chair that long. I mean, y'all won't be getting no 5 hours today, but you can get
no, I'm
something
okay with
close to
that.
similar. But yeah.
I mean, I'm
Well,
not like I'm not trying to push like that. Like if they happen, they happen. But
right.
like at this phase, after a couple hundred interviews, you're like, I'm okay
Well,
when they're short.
am I still in the record on it, or
Um,
like, am I still
you're
like holding the
probably
longest?
you're probably top five for length of a single episode. I know somebody broke 5 hours, and then somebody else broke that one by like 5 minutes or something. So I
Yeah,
have
people
two
were
of them.
out trying to do that, like
Yeah,
legitimate.
and it was like, I got to a point where I'm like, hold on, I got work the next day. I gotta eat. I'm like, y'all want to push for this. I don't know how much I want to push for the record no more. So I had to like tone it back a bit and be like, let's wrap it up sometimes and not just push for the sake of it. But that's okay. It made for
Yeah,
some
man.
great conversations. But honestly, I gotta give kudos to y'all. Y'all be out there. If y'all don't know, this man over here be part of the Chop Vision podcast. They out there winning things, being the third best podcast in Montreal according to Cult Montreal, which in my opinion is the only podcast list in the world that counts. That's all I'm saying. Um, that's my humble opinion. He be out there
Yeah.
with the beat making all over there, pushing out brand new music again. He be out there with the Geektastic Cypher, pushing more stuff. He be out there getting, promotions and upgrades in his day job land. He's become a whole father figure. So y'all gotta understand, everybody becomes a dad and stops grinding. That's a fact. You can look at the history of people who become dads and disappear for a couple of years. This man becomes a dad and pushes harder. So I just gotta give him his credit off the front on that, because you don't see that very often. And
Thank you. Thank
overall,
you.
you can look behind him, and I think some of the biggest successes you've had is with that toy business that you've got going on, with the collections and the freaking crazy beautiful shots, getting a whole person stealing your identity. Come on, we all want somebody to steal our
We're
identity.
not gonna. We're not gonna get into that. We could. We definitely will. Yeah. That was interesting. Yeah, that was really not fun. If anybody has their identity stolen and like you need that shit or even like really like it, um, like I mean the identity, not so much getting it stolen.
Right.
Some of these people are persistent, especially when they know that they've got you. This particular person, I know that they knew me, and I have an idea who it might have been because everyone gets scammed. But then there's like this guy was just like a little, I don't know. A little too much. You know what I mean? Like little. I don't know. I wasn't really down for that.
Sometimes people got a little too much time on their hands,
This
and
guy was going back in my Twitter and then like copy pasting my stuff and then like all sorts of one two craziness, all basically based off of to kind of cover it quickly, all based on I back when IG came out and I got on IG kind of early. You couldn't have that many characters in your name when I wanted to do Action Figgy Skinny, so I had to sacrifice a G to make it work. Because otherwise it would just be like Action Figgy Skin, and that,
nah, it's not a good one.
right? So then I'm like, I gotta keep action. Anyone who can like look quickly will see the Figgy, and just because of muscle memory, you'll think Figgy, right? Or even Feige is still kind of hot because Kevin Feige, and whatever. So outcomes periodically something happens, and then like that I'll get into, and then a week later, legit, shouts my boy Red. Pops up, hey, this guy's trying to be you, and it's just someone with the proper spelling. And they're like, hey, I collect figgies. I'm all about giving people the scoop on figgies. Like this blatantly fake bio on some blatantly like you don't even know what you're talking about type of
So you
stuff.
basically got lampooned.
Super lampooned, incredibly lampooned. And then the worst part is that the pictures that he put up like were disrespectfully terrible. Mind you, this goes to show you that the people who follow you are doing this. Your friends do this out of niceness and not always because they're paying attention. Because 90% of the people that he hit up, he went through my whole follow list and just followed everybody. And most of the people accepted because like, oh, I thought you were making a second account. Like, buddy,
You know
like I
what's
know you're
wild
not gonna
though?
check. Like,
I'm not even gonna act like I checked. I think I'm one of the people that followed that fake account, and then you hit me with the block the fake
right?
account. I'm not gonna act like I like checked it all, but a lot of people do make that second account, and it's
Yeah.
like it is a thing that is happening. So it's like
Yep.
in the
But
defense of the people. But you're right. We should maybe do a little more. Cause yo, one thing I could say about you is you got due diligence at the fucking. This guy will hit me in the DMs like, who's this person? You're a mutual with them. Let me make sure they're not like some fake bot person. I'm like, say word. Like you really be on that protecting your
yeah, man.
space on the internet.
I'm not even playing that because, and I think I can have to give myself like props because I went through every one of my followers and messaged them personally. Look, this person, fake it. Delete him, report him. Please do it. Most people just throw it up in their story. Hey, I got hacked. It sucks. Please report it if you see it. And they're like, one person's gonna see that, be like, yeah, I'll do it later, and then not do it. I was literally like on people, like, yo,
Yo,
you're still following him.
you
Please
say that,
stop
and I
following him.
have gotten in trouble from several of my friends for tagging the wrong account because that hacked account that they had is there. Then they start the second account. I'm at the event. I'm maybe not. I'm a little tipsy, not
Yep.
double checking. And but you're right. Having that block in place means I can't tag the wrong action figgy skinny.
Right? It took like
Which
2 weeks for the person to finally disappear on some stuff, and that's what makes it make me feel even more like oh, it's someone I know because it just did it. It got a rise out of me. I was like, okay, cool, you got your rise, and like, hooray! And then they disappeared. Or Facebook actually did their job and was like, yeah,
well,
no,
I mean, if they did get enough like reports at a certain point, they'll
yeah, then he's
probably
gonna
remove the account. They might not verify you, which fair enough, but they will take out the other account.
true, 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 true. Hmm.
So like, so what have
At
you been
work.
up to in the last little while? I know you be up to a bunch of shit with the podcasting and whatnot, but like, it feels like your life has evolved into a bunch of different branches and they're all kind of winning. So what can you share with the people that you really be doing these days?
Hmm. Wow. Always about getting so what? Chop Vision didn't exist last time.
It was
Or
right before Chop Vision because you were talking about how you wanted to get into producing a podcast like with your man Chops. That was like what you were. I think in the after interview conversation we discussed it more, but you were telling me all about your plan to do it. And like 2 months later, your shit was live with Chops and y'all were running.
right.
Maybe 3 months later, I don't know, but it was pretty quick.
Hmm. So I've been kind of busy. I've been working on that, getting Chop Vision off the ground. Myself and Chops have really, really been pushing it. We're at 77 episodes now. And at episode 100, upon a little switch up, little things are going to change a little bit, and that's really exciting because where we're going to go with that, it's going to expand things, going to expand the family, and it's going to make everything kind of really cool with that. So I've been working on that with him. I've been really pushing with Figgy Skinny, not for just opportunities, whatever, just for the fun of it. I like enjoy taking the photos. I enjoy doing the content regarding that. Um, so that's been fun.
So like,
And
what
just kind of putting up my skills in terms of photos and like just kind of grinding at that. It's easy, it's fun, it's something I enjoy doing.
so
Um,
what does it take to make like a good shot in your mind? Like when you're like
Lighting,
planning
you
all this
have
shit out.
oh well, you have to have the idea first. Comes with the idea first, and then your lighting. Um, if you have the setup within your idea, then you kind of plan that out first too. Uh, Usually just making sure everything's like cropped and contained within your shot and within your like kind of viewing of your within the lens. So I usually kind of have my camera is operated by like battery operated, like so like to even view the screen itself it needs to be powered on. It's not one of the like analog joints.
Mm.
So I usually will leave that on and like place things as I go and probably go through like a battery pack, just placing everything and then finally doing practice shots and then toying with your lighting and making sure like everything's bright and lit properly and you don't want to have like shadows or things bouncing off because then that kind of takes away from it. And then yeah, so there's portions of that, but usually when you just do like a basic like team shot or something, it's just about like having like 6 or 7 to 8 or 9 lights set up and then doing what you got to do.
So you basically just make sure the shit's well lit and then
Yeah,
act out whatever scenario that you're going for in those moments.
basically.
And like, what's the community like? Like, I mean, you be posting a lot, growing your account. I mean, because you be doing it with music, and then you be doing it with podcasting, and then you be doing it with this toy thing. So in a sense, you got all these like different avenues of communities that you exposed to, that you're exposed to.
Yeah, the community is, I could say, very inviting and more forgiving, so that
Mm.
it's easier to build within that community because it's not I'm not gonna say it's still fresh because it's not. It was fresh in 2015, so if you got in early in the door, 2015, 16, you can easily build and so on. There's guys out there with like all kinds of 30,000 followers and craziness like that, 100K and whatnot, but that's because they do reviews and they're like diligent, diligent, diligent. I could be on that level. I would love to be. I'm working towards that. I caught a lick in 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, where I got like the first Tommy Oliver, rest in peace, Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger. That figure came out and it hadn't been out yet, and they hadn't even announced it yet. And I caught a lick, caught it at a toy store in Montreal, found it, did my review. That was like I think that video's at like 11K views now, and it
Say
continues
word. Is that on
to catch
YouTube
views. And
or
like I can't, yeah, yeah,
Instagram?
yeah, it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. That's kind of like one of my premiere
Yo,
videos on my YouTube channel,
yo,
switching
I'm
it from
saying
producer skinny to
11K
yeah.
on a video is not easy to get. Like, it's either like
No,
you see people like what you watch on YouTube probably has those numbers because the
yeah.
algorithm loves people who has numbers. But when you don't have numbers, bro, 11K is a hard get.
It was nuts because I didn't have anybody, and with that one video, I shot up like I had like 200 YouTube subscribers. I shot up to like 654, 700, and that number stays to this day. I had to let it, yeah, I caught a little thing. So now I checked out my stats the other day, and I'm just like, wow, these Power Ranger videos, and most of my views that I get on YouTube are from like Power Ranger reviews. I do other stuff. I'll do tour videos, I'll do other things, but then it's the kids that are really into like Sentai because there isn't a big review kind of threshold for guys that do it like myself that review Power Rangers slash Super Sentai. So yeah, I'm trying to get back into
That's
that
actually like
eventually.
it's actually a big tip for like content. One of the strategies you can use on Twitch is to go look for some game that nobody's playing. Like I know it sounds weird, but if nobody's playing a game, anybody that want to watch that game is probably going to see your stream. Whereas,
100%.
so like in the same way, by tapping into this toy community that is less popular or less focused on, you're getting all them kids that still probably love it all equally. That's a big knowledge nugget right there for real. Um, it's hard to replicate the success. I feel like YouTube be real smart, and it's like, yeah, you got that one.
Yeah,
This
they'll
many
let you have
people
that one.
actually gave you shit. This is how many people are gonna see it next time.
right? I caught another lick recently off IG with just like a random reel. It's not even a
Mm.
lick. It's not like a 55 to 100K lick, but it's one of those steady reels that just keeps going up and it's ridiculous and it doesn't make any sense. I made it in November and today it'll still catch just like maybe some one day it'll be like 100, then it'll be like 40, 32,
Yo,
35. And you're
reels
like,
is
what?
wild.
It doesn't make
I
any
don't.
sense. And it's just like me conveying fake toys in like a Jonka too, which I might start doing again and
Yo,
continue
that's what.
doing.
That's the content game, though, right? This shit works. Keep
Right.
doing it. Also, what up, Rico Blocks in the chat? It's good to see you there. So, back to the toy community. They be like
Yeah.
friendly, inviting. You got if you got in
Friendly
early, it's
inviting.
good. And
Yeah,
now you're
Rico's in the toy community, man. Shoot, Rico, you can talk about it. Toy community is super inviting. Most of us be rappers. Most of us are grown-ass men who just love Marvel and DC and love these things, and they bring us nostalgia and kind of makes us it's easy to cope with the fact that the world's burning. You know what I mean? So, especially when you got these, and you can just be like, all right, well, I can trade up some of these toys and turn around and flippity dippity and catch me a little 1, 2 and buy me some Jordan off these. Like it's a good little investment here. It's something to do. It's not drugs. So it's healthy. Yeah. I
so,
recommend it for everybody.
so is there like a profit margin on the reels in this?
Used to be. Used to be big profit margin, man. I once sold 1 year. I think I did like 1,200 on eBay off these joints. I would easily be at home, be like, oh no, snap. I don't know what's going on. I didn't have the money like that back then. And I was just like, need to make $300, and I'd make $300 easy just by selling shit out of my closet. Double
That's
packs, things that people can't find anymore. Most of these are on the back wall behind me. I'm pointing at random and like that's a Venom right there. That's 120. Like I could easily just be like, bong, eBay,
so,
marketplace,
so it's
120 for that.
so it's like shoes and everything else.
Yeah,
Anything
yeah,
people
resale's
collect.
nuts. Resale super nuts. Like especially if you have them in box or even outside box, resale value's nuts because a lot of these once they're not printing, they're gone. And then if you're a new collector, 18, 19, you're just getting into the game, whatever. You're trying to find these joints that were made in 2015, 2016. So it's going to run you up a bit, especially now where when I started in 2015, 2016, fully I've been always collecting since I was a kid. But when I really started collecting 6 inch, 112 scale, it was 24.99 per fig.
Mm.
Not cheap, but like not, killing you.
Hold on, like
And then
the fake figurines.
yeah, so like one of these, 24.99 Canadian. Not bad. Plus taxes, you're getting like 28, right? That was 2015 early. From 2016 it went to 29.99. Sat for a minute. Chilled for a good couple years. Then COVID hit. And then Hasbro was like, "Yeah, we need money because things aren't good." And then that went from in a year, it went from 29.99 to 31.99 to 32.99 to 33.97 to now where it sits at 35.99 a pop for these joints.
So plus taxes, that 40 Rico saying. Man, that's
Right?
wild. Yo, my dude, when
It's
I was, I remember
cost of a
back
fitted hat.
in like 2008, walking into my man's bedroom, and he had like 1,000 Transformers figurines back then, just
Yeah.
sitting in his room. I don't know what it's worth, but he's got like that Transformers community. I imagine is pretty popping as well. Is it like broken into like that? Like people be like Team Marvels, Team this. You gotta get your favorites and kind of get loyal with it.
I mean, some people will be, I collect 3 different lines. It's based on what you can afford, what you're into. There's people who collect Transformers, who collect Marvel Legends, who collect G.I. Joe, who collect DC, who collect all of it. And them people are crazy. I don't have I don't have the room nor the tolerance for that amount. I like things a little bit more streamlined. So I got Marvel going on in this house, but then also do collect G.I. Joe, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is just staples of my youth. So what I grew up watching as a Saturday morning cartoon is what I collect. I don't
Mm.
it because of the whole DC thing, I can only do one or the other as being a completionist. Star Wars does not happen. I love Star Wars, but not enough to collect their toys because there's just too many. You know what I mean? Like there's no ending of Star Wars. There's just droid after Luke after Luke after Leia. It just doesn't stop. Same with DC. To a degree, it depends on who owns the company, but with Marvel, like they've been doing this since Marvel Legends came out in 2002. They just celebrated the 20th anniversary. So either 2012 or 2002, I'm not sure. But their line, there's still characters that from when they started that they haven't released yet. And like if you catch, you can kind of like continue that, which is where I'm at. I'm just trying to finish off the characters, a few characters I don't have yet, versus going and getting like the 900th version of Superman. And you know how many Batman's suits there are? Like, forget it. I love Batman, but
So it's kind of like collecting cards in a sense, where you're like just trying to
yes,
complete the set.
yeah. I'm just trying to get my every representation of every Marvel character I know from comic book form on my shelf. That's all. And to give you guys, because I've upgraded the camera since, last interview. So to give you guys a little shot, Holden, you've seen this room,
Yeah, I
but it's
have.
kind of, there's my jacket and such. There's the speakers, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, that's kind of the joyous look of the lab.
It's a lot of toys.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to think that like they're just all value, right? Like when you start thinking about the fact that like in a sense they become a weak ass asset.
Yeah, they'll start off as nothing. Some things that you don't even think it's like, oh, there's no value in this, and then you'll look and you'll go, oh, wow, that's going for 80 because no one wanted it at first. And then it went on like clearance, and then some or one or two people scooped them all up, and then now some kid is really looking for that like frogman that nobody wanted ever. But
Fair.
so yeah,
So like, have you gotten back into the music game? Because I know back when we last talked, it maybe wasn't your hugest focus, but it seems like I'd be seeing you releasing some joints here and there with people. I'd be seeing you at events now. So like, do you find yourself kind of moving back into the culture?
not I was never done with it. I wasn't, and I mean another lovely technical that I won't get into, so I can't see the chat. So anybody who has agrees with me or disagrees, let me know. But
I will let you know.
I didn't really appreciate how things were really moving in the city and how certain things were going. So I kind of just took a dip and just kind of fell back. And I fell back onto this toy stuff. But now where I feel like shouts to Craven, shouts to Rico, shouts to Questa, shouts to everybody that's really putting in the work right now. Shouts to like you guys, yourself, Chrome, Showbiz, like for a
Appreciate that.
better for a better word, my man Lance. Shouts to Craven.
JSP really he be doing it though. He be there with us. He be grinding with us. He putting all the work in.
I'll give him that. He does his thing. I'm just there seems to just be more unity now, or the unity's coming back, or at least getting to a point where I feel like it's healthy to get back into stuff, and I'm not really done with it. A lot of my boys are kind of coming up and doing their thing. Or J Red the Doctor, Morris Regal, 80 Rock, fam, and I'm really just like, yeah, I'm ready to get busy again because I'm not doing it. This is not a flex, but it is a flex. I'm not doing it for. Before it was for like I wanted to come up off of this. I wanted to catch a lick, money, make me, do enough beats for free, and then finally, start selling these shits, whatever. I'm not selling. Like, if you want to pay me, pay me. Yes. If I don't know you for Adam, you're gonna pay me, fine. But like, if I believe in your art and I think you're really dope, whatever, I'm giving these shits away. Because at the same time, I'm fire. I'm good. I'm super dope, and I'm not gonna just be like, "Hey, I'm a great producer. You should pay me for my beats." I'm just gonna prove it by showing you my beats and you falling in love with them. And that happened last weekend. I went out, uh, going out, producers, people. You want to meet people and so on. The grind and the networking, it sucks. It does suck. But
Super sucks.
yes, but you know,
It's so worth it.
so worth it in the end when you connect with the right people. 'Cause not everybody's trying to connect. Not everyone's trying to build. Everyone and build is a
Well, you
corny
just
term, but not
like you
everyone's
need
really
to
trying
have
to
your
like
own like missions, right? Because like
right.
I have like listen, I gotta get at least 2 Instagrams of people that are to me potentially useful. That could be a beat maker, a rapper,
Mm,
somebody that want to follow my music, this, that, the next thing. But like, if you don't walk out the house with a mission in mind, like now currently
mhm.
we pushing Paul Wall tickets, so it's like anywhere
Yep.
I go, fuck it. If I can move a ticket, and I did the other night, I went out. I wasn't expecting it, but I moved the ticket. Like you ask people, you do the whole shit, and then you build, and then people remember you. They see you at the next event. They see you at the
Sure.
event after that.
For
Yeah.
sure. They any the networking portion it's worth it in that sense. But then I just going out. I think it was a Raz Fresco show. Yeah,
Yeah.
Osgang Plaza. It was the coldest night of the year and coldest night, and I don't even know how long. From that, I saw shout out to Lowe's, saw my old friend, uh, saw a few other people, and yeah, like I got some tracks back, super quick, from people who like are popping off now, and I'm not gonna name names, but it kind of helps, and it kind of gives me that confidence, like okay, yeah, the city's ready for me to just go out here, dump out beats and whatever, and it's kind of maybe not fall back, but like maybe I'll stick around this time. Maybe we'll see what happens with it. I know I got to get something with Rico. Rico's been busy. He's doing his grind. Shouts to him. I got to check out that track with him at midnight.
Yeah, the one
Um,
that you just dropped with Travis is nice. I'm glad I
yeah,
listened
man.
to it
I
before
went to school
this.
with Travis. I went to school with Travis. That's
Sure.
fam from long, long time. Yeah, high school. Me, him, Boy Blue. We all went to high school together.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
wild.
like
Yeah.
people's from like time where you see them and like it's funny because I am not gangster at all. I will say that I am not gangster. And to be honest, I feel like when I'm around thuggish folk, they are uneasy around me because I'm too damn smiley. Perfect
I,
example. This,
bro,
this
I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about. Anyway, go on.
so this Rise Fresco show, I'm there, and I just like I'm with Carl. I'm with my boy Crazy K. So it's Carrera. I call him Crazy K. That was his old name, Carl, my man. See, when you know people from time and you've been to like their weddings and stuff, like you're not trying to do the whole persona name. You're out here just, which is kind of not dangerous, but in terms of like Justice League superhero shit, you got to be careful with that. So, always use the aliases, folks. So
Mhm.
I was with my man Carrera, and we were trying to go back, not even trying to go backstage. Like I didn't want to smoke outside. It was minus 900 outside. Like
Facts.
forget it. So I'm just like people smoking in the basement. Someone's just like, yeah, smoking in the basement. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna go to the basement. As we're going, security comes and just closes the door. You know how Osgang works. Just closes the door that leads downstairs. So
My
man
bad. I didn't know where the
pretends
door is.
it's like one of the, it's just like a back door. Like when you're going towards the bathroom, and then there's like a back door,
Oh, okay,
like a
okay,
back
okay.
door, and it opens and you go downstairs. So man started pretending like he was going to the bathroom, so like not looking conspicuous. I'm like, screw this. I go and open the door, walk downstairs, and I'm like, all right, let's see what's up. So this goes from happy-go-lucky Montreal show to mad Toronto man's in a backstage area. And I didn't know who SD Nas was at the time. Me being a hip hop head, still didn't know. But he was dope when I did see him perform. But anyways, the minute I walked in, I hear someone have a conversation. It's like, yeah, man, crowd's kind of weird, and there's all these ninjas I don't know. Looked up at me, and I'm wearing like something similar to this. I think I was wearing like a bright purple sweater, and
Yeah.
like, just me. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Bum bop bop. Said smoke my spliff, lit it in the back. I see Funk Lorentovich. I met him. Bong, cool, cool. But then I just felt like the side eye, and I was like, okay, now the vibe's not here. I'm not really down. But yeah, you can't be a happy smiley like myself going to these shows sometimes because I don't know. I think
No,
everyone's
that's
just
a
not comfortable
fact,
being
bro. We I was
100% themselves. So I don't
but
know.
it's also like so Showbiz and I go to this battle in Toronto.
Oh man, you guys made it out. Good luck. I'm not going to no battle in Toronto.
I feel like I'll just walk through anything cuz I look at it like maybe something might happen one day,
Yeah,
but if you act like something's going to happen, it's a lot more likely to happen. So you gotta walk
this
around
is
like
true.
you're good to be there. Like, and why am I not good to be there? I paid the money to get in the battle. I want to see the battle. I fucks with rap
Right,
battles. You know, I
right,
belong there as much as
right.
anybody else. However, I found out I was a little too excited next to a guy who I found out later may have been connected to the streets in a very legitimate way, and he gave me a "ya bless," and I took that "ya bless" as calm the fuck down and behave, boy. And I realized that maybe not
Is
all
that what that
shows.
meant?
That's what I took from it. I took it from that. And then Showbiz had his version of that moment like 15 minutes later with the next man's in that little posse. And we were like, oh, we are way too nice maybe for a certain.
You're way too nice for these guys.
So we
That's
caught,
kind of
we were
funny.
like, okay, so I guess it's stand around vibes. Understood.
And
Understood.
around and not talk to people vibes.
Not necessarily
Oh,
not talk to people, but not necessarily talk to all the people. Like,
I
you
was
don't
trying.
necessarily want to say hi to all the people, is what I learned. Some people are okay, just don't say hi to them.
I was trying to say what up to Chung, and she is popular, I
She's
guess.
great. I mean, I like
She
her
is
music
great.
a lot. Personally, I've never met her, but her music, in my opinion, is pretty dope.
So another person that I, went to Lakeside, went to high school with, us. We have a lot of good cloth coming from my high school.
Apparently.
At least the high I graduated from, but it was Lakeside to the younger folks, or being one of them. Actually, is friends with like my wife's, like with the wife's friend. So like people, known folk. Of course, when you're the little Kim in an area and there's gonna be mad dudes around you, either trying to holler, trying to talk to you, trying to so on. And I guess her producer was there, who I didn't know from face, but then someone said their name and I was like, oh, that's you. Anyways, uh, it was mad grimace face from that direction all night. So I wasn't. The sentence I got out was, "You went to Lakeside," and it was supposed, and it exactly in that tone, white as hell. No offense to white folks, but I didn't
It's what
sound,
it is.
you know what I mean? Like,
It's what it
you
is.
went to Lakeside, like that. It was. I was disappointed in myself because once I said the Lakeside, I looked to the side, and producers like, "Nah, bro," and it wasn't like I'm not trying. Like if you, boy, if I could show you my kid, I would, because I show everybody a picture of my kid. If to be a proud dad type thing, I'm just like, I'm not trying to holler. I'm really just trying to shell out some beats. And I actually sent some beats December 16th, and I didn't want to be like, hey, you should check your email. But that was also going to be the second part of this conversation. And you just stirred me away from doing that, Mr. Producer Man. So shouts to her producer, who is probably very hard at work at making sure no other beatsmiths get beats her way. Shouts to that guy. But yeah, Chung is awesome. I definitely would like to work with her in the future. Just proves to be difficult. So
Facts. I mean, sometimes, this game has a lot of navigating I've been learning about, is all I'm going to
hard to
say.
navigate
Since we last
sometimes. Oh
spoke,
my
I've
goodness.
learned a lot about what being. So I feel like I was an Icarus and I flew way close to a sun. And then thank God I didn't fly that close because the wings never melted, but they were starting to
Oh
melt.
wow.
And
You're
this is how
funny.
I look. And then like I'm like, okay, we're gonna fly way the fuck down now and just figure out the game because holy shit, it's weird when people can
That's funny.
identify you from an Instagram and you've never met them.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's never good. That's never good. I had some dude run up on me at a gas station, be like, "Yo, you do with all the toys, right?" I was
I'll
like,
say where DJ Magnanimous is here. I forgot to say what's up.
"What up?"
I still want a stream deck because I want a physical item to push a button on. I know I can
I'm
get
s-
an app.
I'm bugging how I can't see you right now. Like this is
Yeah, no. But yeah, I see you in all the pictures and with all these people fucking chilling. Like, hey, I'm back. You all need to know who
Oh
the
no,
fuck
no,
I
that
am.
was that was a one night that they caught me. Red hollered at me. He was just like, "Yo, I got this going on doing the video shoot tonight. You should come through." I was like, "All right, cool." And it was like cool to see old friends, homies, Craven, and Jimmy D. Uh,
Yo,
don't
shout out
you know?
Jimmy D. Jimmy D
That's
be
a
at
Jimmy D.
everything. Like that's the one thing. So for me, I could
Jimmy's
say
working.
that like I be at a lot of stuff, and so I guess if I see you at all the stuff I'm at, and I know you're going to
Yeah.
more things than me, that's like I have to take the hats off to you because I'm not going to as much stuff as people like Jimmy D is, and it's
Right.
like these guys be like sometimes 3 events a day, and I'm like I don't
Don't
know,
know how they do it.
I don't know, I'm not good at it. I by event 3, I'm hungry and cranky because I'm bad at eating at all this shit. Like I'm bad at stopping for a bite in the middle.
You wouldn't stop for a bite in the middle?
Because I don't think about it. I'm in the middle of like moving and all this shit. So you're at one event and then you're getting to the next event and then maybe you see something in the middle that you want. Because I'm not in a whip, right? So it's public
Mm.
transit or the cycle and shit. Cycling, I'm not like mid cycle going, damn, I'm going to stop at this pizza place. It's just
Right.
not really a thought in my mind. It could be,
Right.
maybe, but then you get to the spot and you're like, you're at Blue Dog. There's not really a lot to eat around Blue Dog that you want to go eat quick. And then there's not really a lot at Belmont either, and a lot of my life is spent at Belmont and Blue Dog. Just how this is all playing out. Like I
Yeah,
ran it.
true. Because really, those are like the in between spots, like the two spots that kind of get
Well, that
the
we're
shows.
booking. So like it's like
Yeah.
the people that have money go to Belmont, and the people that don't necessarily have that kind of money go to Blue Dog, which is fair. And
I can hear you. Yeah. The people who have money go to Belmont. That's a
no, I
funny
mean, I don't want
analogy.
to like talk all the numbers, but I spoke with the Belmont man about how much the shit really costs and etc.
Yeah.
And as I learn about event production, like sometimes I think people be spending wild money on unnecessary things when it comes to like throwing these events, and that's why some of these ticket prices be what they are. And
I
it's
believe
weird
that.
because
I
like
believe that for sure.
I also don't think Blue Dog should be the only place we go because we really need a place that has bathrooms that women want to use, my G.
Oh my God.
And it's no disrespect to Blue Dog.
No, those bathrooms don't make any kind of sense, like whatsoever. I
No,
don't know
not.
why they're like that. I don't know why they look like that. It's just not.
They got a
Not
door
nice.
on the guy's bathroom. Got a door, bro. It has a door now. It's very tight, but there's a door.
I'm happy it finally has a door. Jeez. Hey, Eureka, I can see you now. This is good.
You can see me.
Yeah, I put it on grid and yeah, this is like this is a win now. So now I can see your face. Yay!
Yeah. What's up?
See? Being the IT guy while also getting interviewed will get you this. This is
Yeah.
a win.
I've learned that while trying to maintain a conversation, doing all troubleshooting is a miserable experience on some of these
It,
podcasts.
it is a miserable experience, but if you can actually like maintain, like I can actually maintain sometimes and like kind of keep it going, but then when it gets too hard, you're like, God damn it, no, I gotta stop 2 seconds. But yeah,
Yeah, it'll
it's,
run in the back of my mind the entire thing that like this one thing isn't right, or like
yeah.
the chat box will be cropped poorly, and I'll see
Oh,
that, and like I know if I fix it, it'll be a clunky waste of 3 minutes or whatever, and it's not really worth it, but it'll
right.
just be there the whole time glaring at me, and I've tried to fix shit on the. It's awkward. It doesn't look good.
Yeah,
Sometimes you just gotta take the little L on presentation.
for sure. Take a little L there. I'm so that bathroom, man. That thing's been gross since I started going there, and it's like Blue Dog's like relatively new, so I just wonder how the bathroom got bad so quick.
I don't. My theory is there's a lot of cocaine that happens in these bathrooms. I mean, have you not seen the girls
Oh,
coming
you
in from the bar next door
Hey!
and then they leave the place right after? Although sometimes they stick around. Like at the Snow Goon
Oh,
show, shout out Perry for making that happen. But at the Snow
yeah.
Goon show, it was dead empty. Then all of a sudden, a bunch of people came in the bar to do blow in the bathroom. And they then decided to hang out while Snow Goon's Mans was performing. And for his set, which is cool because you kind of want your headliner guest person to have a crowd in Montreal. It's kind of weird when it's pretty empty all night. They weren't there for them, but it was like 20 young people walked in and watched their set and danced and all this other shit. And then the second it was done, they left. And I was like, that's Blue Dog, though. That's the one beautiful part of Blue Dog I've never seen at another venue because people
Yeah.
don't go from the club next door to come do blow at the. It doesn't happen
Yeah,
everywhere else.
yeah, you're right. Jeez.
I don't know if you're
Blow is
supposed to
nuts.
say it like that, but I mean,
I'm glad to say that I've never participated in such madness that is blow, but
I've never done it
I've,
myself either.
I've
So
seen people get crazy and oh boy,
um,
oh boy.
apparently it fuels a whole lot of a nightlife. So I suppose
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
out of
yeah,
a
definitely.
job in the big picture if there's no cocaine on the scene. Like a lot of these clubs. I'm just saying.
A lot of them. Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I ended up at
Yeah.
Musique the other night, and
Wow. Whoa. What were you doing there?
I linked up with somebody that throws events, and homegirl is
Okay.
like, she came out to this shit. She's like, okay, I saw your world. Why don't I come show you my world? Homegirl's like 30, my age, like,
Mm.
next thing you know, we're in Musique. I have never realized how old I was until I
Oh,
was,
you hit you. It hit you there?
it
This
was
is where it
like,
decided to hit you?
this place, because I thought I like mosh pits. I thought I like crowds. I don't like clubs. Like, man, I don't even know, like, bro, there's no room. And then young people are getting mad at you for not knowing the good crowd etiquette. And I'm getting told off by drunk 20-year-olds for taking up space. And I'm like, I'm bad at this. Maybe if I was good at this, but like, I don't know none of the etiquettes. Mans wants a tip in the bathroom. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
That's You, sir, you. I think. How long did you stay?
An hour-ish. It was like end of the
Yeah,
night
okay, that
shit.
sounds
It was
about right.
like
There's no reason for you to do that.
after a Belmont thing, and we were there to like midnight, and then moved over to the next place, and then it like took an hour to figure out how to get acclimated. It took like 30 minutes to get to the fucking bathroom, kind of thing. Wait in the line. Bro, it's wild. I don't know why people love this. I guess it's because you can fornicate pretty easily if you're young and drunk, but like, I don't think I'd do well even if that was the goal. Like, it just feels like
Very
it's just
few
not the flex.
percentage of people are fornicating in the club. Like, it wasn't. You would just go to kind of maybe try to catch them, like vibe or meet somebody or something. That's what we did it for. I wasn't. I don't know.
I don't know. It was just a bunch of young drunk people jumping and dancing, and it was like bodies sweating everywhere.
Oh yeah, well that's the pill drugs. You see, like I discovered trees midway point through my clubbing days, and then I was just like, well, I can't do this in here. Actually, no, I found some ways to do it in there. We all did. Back when it was illegal, it was great because you had to find crazy strategic ways to get
Mm.
high in the club. They shut down Saint Sulpice recently, and I'm just like, damn. I remember having a birthday party on the terrace where you could not smoke on the terrace, where you could smoke cigarettes. I think. Nope, you couldn't do that
Mm.
because that was. I think that was just on the point of getting illegal, like not being cool. And we had the back, and I there, and I lit like a giant spliff, and like security was kind of like looking out because everybody could obviously smell it, like it wasn't common. And I was like, damn, Saint Sulpice is gone. I'll never get to do that again, even though it's legal now. But yeah, so
But
back
nah,
on clubbing then, now and clubbing now. Like
I don't. So I
that's
hear
weird.
like all the glory days of pre-smoking, but like I turned 18 the year they banned smoking in bars. So
Oh,
like I wasn't the kid that was going to shit
there,
underage. Just
there was no glory days for that. You would go out with a new shirt and it would smell like cigarette smoke for 3 weeks afterwards.
yeah, but
After
people was
washing.
there. Okay, the whole like I don't know if you remember that like era for the 3 4 years when like half the bars just died everywhere because smoking was apparently that big of a deal.
Yeah, yeah. I was so yeah. I was going out at that point, and it did get very light in terms of crowds. But eventually, people realized, well, like, what were you gonna do? We're gonna have to go out at some point. So they did came
Although
back. They came back.
I did realize that if Tony Yayo's people laid up on stage at Belmont, all of a sudden security's not stopping you from smoking in the room.
That's the safest spot to smoke in Belmont, downstairs in the basement and on
No, I'm
stage.
talking. They were on stage. They were like
Exactly.
walked.
Safest spot to smoke in Belmont is downstairs in the basement and on stage.
Oh yeah, facts. I
No one's
wouldn't
stopping
light
you
it.
on stage.
No, they'll stop us on stage. They're not stopping them on stage.
I smoked on stage.
I don't think
I
they'll
smoked
let
on
us
stage.
now.
I smoked on stage with. Hold on. Boot Camp Click. I smoked on stage with
Well, that's
180.
different. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you have the
I
right
smoked
people
on
on
stage during
stage,
my own set,
mm.
which is wild. And yeah,
See
they
that
don't
that
like.
like I wouldn't
Yeah,
fuck with that. I wouldn't risk that personally at Belmont right now. Just having seen
right
the vibe.
now.
Like, nah, I wouldn't.
No, not right
I
now.
have to go
No.
to, but I have to go to Belmont too. No, but Feezy got mad at me for sparking, and he got mad at me and said, "Don't do that shit. Don't fuck up my relationship with Belmont." And I'm like, okay, I guess it really is a big deal. But
No, no. No. I'm not gonna say nothing on that because I don't know Feezy's relationship with nobody. I just know that man's them that were there with us were much larger than people that would have come up to you to be like, hey, you can't smoke. And most of the time, there's a scary. They got their bouncers checked, right? They're usually good about that. So
I'm just,
sometimes they'd be cool with it. But yeah, I wouldn't do it just because, yeah, if someone's gonna come up
I
to you and
wouldn't
be
do
like,
it
hey,
unless like I'm on stage with the famous. Like if Paul Wall wants to invite me on stage and smoke a spliffy, I'm not gonna say no to Paul Wall. I don't think it's gonna happen, but like it's the context that I could think of where I would do it.
that's gonna be an exciting show. I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah, I'm
For sure.
excited for that shit. I might say, yo, it's cool. Like it's like you get one, and then all of a sudden they start appearing. It's like you just need that first opportunity, however, to manifest in your life, which
Yeah,
turned out was Vincent Price. So shut up, Vincent Price. That guy
that's the win.
manifested some dope shit.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and like
I'll never get a show again, but I mean,
what?
that's all. That's for another day. Um, yeah,
I
I'm not
mean,
really trying to. do that in any case. I'll leave that for the the folks that are doing
I
their
see you
things out there.
dropping your freestyles at the start of the episode, testing your waters, getting
I'll put a
yourself
nigga
up.
under the ground in a freestyle. Come on now, like no one's really touching. A lot of people who rap straight up will literally be like, "I don't freestyle," and it's like, come on, you can't think of three words ahead of your brain and just say them. It's not that hard. You can't make words rhyme. You're a rapper. That's what you do. I only freestyle to make sure that my beats are rappable and that they're
Mm.
it actually could be flowed to. So the fact that I can make a few things make sense and they kind of sound nice, where do you do this? You should be able to freestyle.
I
But
agree,
a lot of mans
but
don't freestyle, and I'm like, okay,
I'm
cool.
dead ass. It took me a long time to like be mediocre at it. Like I don't even think I'm
Yeah, but you
good.
also flow super unorthodox. You flow super unorthodox. So the fact that you rap unorthodox and then throwing in freestyling with that's extra hard. I've
I,
never heard you do like a da 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 flow ever.
I can't.
Never, never.
I can't. I don't know how to put it, but I can't think that slow. So like
No, that word. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
I
Trust
like
me. I
it's
hear you.
like my brain's racing. So like it's hard. Like I don't know. I had to
You
like
smoke to slow down. I hear you.
and like even like with all of the rapping and shit, it took me forever to like accept that nobody really want to hear you rap that fast, except for 22-year-old people.
Yes. Yeah.
Weirdly, that one song you don't like, that one is getting love. I don't know why. Weirdly, because like
22-year-old who looks at anything that's all like any remotely double. But hey, if it clicks and it works, then that's good.
sometimes people like what they like. I don't know.
That's all.
Nobody expected Pickles, right? Like nobody expected anything like that to happen.
I expected pickles with all the pickle Rick shit and whatever from any.
Bro,
Yeah, you
I
can
wasn't
easily tap
expecting that
into.
shit. It was an
Yeah,
accident, but
it was
like
a great accident.
great accident. And then you're like, okay, that's what the people want, and you have a big ol' that's what the people want moment and have to accept it and then realize there's more of a bag giving the people what they want sometimes than fighting the pickle meme.
True. I may not want the bag that much.
I
There's
mean,
and that's just me.
fair.
I will not be like, that's what they want. I guess. Because if I have to do the I guess, it means I'm not really like it's
I
not
mean,
in it.
so I look at it like a creative challenge. How can I meet it in the middle? And how can I make it fun? Like I started picturing events. So we get, like how people be doing this like block mode versus 40/40 music event where each team kind of puts an act next to next. So we do it like that. Team
Okay.
Pickle, Team No Pickle. Everybody's wearing the merch in this event, right? Like so everybody
Mm.
on Team Pickle's got one shirt, everybody on Team No Pickle. And then we put up a whole little thing, which side do you think has it? At the end of the show, who wins? Team who raps
Right.
better? Who performs better? Team Pickle or Team No Pickle? I feel
Okay.
like like when you play it out like that, it's like it's stupid, but at the same time, I'd kind of go to that show more than I would go to a regular show because it's so dumb. And people be like that. And I'm not insulting anyone because I like the dumbest shit. It's what we like.
Yeah.
So if you can have fun, I think people like, like that unity shit you were talking about a little bit before. My big theory on that is COVID put us all in rooms by ourselves and faced our
Mm.
demons a little bit more than we ever had a chance to do in the past. And then we all got kind of lonely a bit and decided that we would rather be nice than fucking be mean as much. Like,
Nah,
that's my
niggas is
big.
still mean. More mean than ever, bro. People are the most selfish. Some of that is true. I will agree with you. Some of that.
Well,
I feel like
the compromising is a little more up.
yes, 100%.
So maybe it's
Compromising is a
just
little bit more
finding
up.
the necessity of each other a little more.
Maybe I think it's more just trying to find not so much necessity, but more or less just people are trying to find. Honestly, people are just trying to get it before this world blows up. But there's also people are
That's a
just trying to find
fact.
their own kindred. People are trying to find their kindred spirits,
That's
and
also a fact.
within that, it's still clicky. You still have your clicks, but there is more bigging up people within your clique now. So you'll see who notable producer in the city put on for like, or not even put on, but like fully support all their man stuff. Whereas before, like if you had a boy and you knew this other homie or the producer who knew this other rapper, You wouldn't see him throw out his whole album multiple times on his story. You know what I mean? That's valuable real estate. I need that for me. You know what I mean? But
Mm.
now, especially in the city, I'm seeing a lot more of like if one dude goes, like Real City Relay, we all go, especially if they're kind of clicked up. For like, I mean, like, okay, if Red drops something, 80 sharing that, Pro V sharing that, Morris is sharing that. All the man them are sharing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's cool. It's like that's how it should have been from jump. But I just love that it's now that's kind of like that's the reg. I mean,
Yeah.
if we could now get that to happen for like everybody, that's just you don't have to necessarily just be friends with the person, but like, have a relationship to do that, it'd be great. Because the hardest part about being a producer is that if you produce something for someone other people don't mess with based on their personality, their music, or just because they may not have shown the same kind of interest in their stuff, your ass is dead in the water. You're
Mm.
the only one sharing your song. Doesn't matter if you're the most friendly neighborhood producer out there, if everybody loves you, if you got friends in all corners of the hip hop game within the city or wherever you're at, it's hard. And that's kind of like more or less why I leaned towards this Figgy stuff because I still needed to keep my. It wasn't okay. The term of keeping yourself hot, keep staying fresh within the game, being visible. I needed to be visible. I needed to let people know that I was still doing something, hence the podcast, hence ActionFiggySkinny, while producing when stuff wasn't coming out. So I had albums of music. I have an album of music out waiting, chilling to be released since 2020.
Like
More,
you, ra-
more,
like you rapping, or you like
not
beat
me
making?
rapping, fully produced by me.
Right, right.
But you got to wait on the artist. You can't force the artist. And then in the meantime, you're doing songs here and there with artists that are notable, but people aren't really, they just don't mess with their energy like that. Or it's like a, I don't know, click thing slash popularity thing. The shit's very high school. It's nuts.
There's a lot of sectors of this scene that I find extremely click. Like, you know how I know? I'm not in the cliques. My whole clique
Mm.
seems to be made up of people that weren't in other cliques. We are very
Yes.
much the outcasts. No offense to my peoples if you're watching this, but let's be fucking real.
We're
We're
gonna
a
throw a whole bunch of
we're a
tomatoes at you.
motley crew. They're used to me. A motley crew of people that dead ass make no sense together. If you really run our music and sounds and personality traits, we all had to learn to get along a little bit more personal and shit. It's been a great experience. But like, honestly, we're just like, yo, we're not in the other cliques. We may as well click up on some like, okay, let's go make our own bag because apparently the people who have access to grant writers don't want us to have access to their grant writers. So fair enough. If you want
Yeah.
to talk to real gatekeeping in Montreal,
Grant
it's the
writers?
grant writers. I mean,
Really?
well, can you name 5 grant writers? You might,
Absolutely not.
you, but if you should be able to. If we're
I
all like,
should.
all of us should be able to, and I can name one and scroll through Facebook to find you a second, and that's as far as it goes for me, even at this point.
Hmm.
So it's like, yeah, grant writers and shit. Oh shit! Why didn't it update the links? Boo.
I need to get
Oh,
music. I don't know if I need to grant yet just yet. I really just want to. I'm trying to get back my original goal, which is this. I'm trying to not produce for everybody because that is not realistic. I tried to do
nah.
that, have a sound produce. I was trying to produce for everybody. So have a song with everybody that was hot coming up, whatever. Try to get them at least one or two SkinDeep beats, and I accomplished that. I did close to that. Still got to get Magnum. Haven't gotten Revolver Mag yet, but I'm trying, working on that. But yeah,
He's
I just want to just give my music to as many people that I feel it would I could either better their sound or they would better my sound. And yeah, and then also I'm just gonna start paying for verses, not like local hip hop
Nah.
verses. No,
Like
fuck out of
famous.
here.
Like this.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
would
yeah.
pay for the same verse the same way.
Yeah, like I'm trying to invest now because it's like, oh yeah, like, and this is no diss to the Drumless beats. I've come to respect it. Craven's my boy now. Before I was like, no, it was not. It was. I can honestly, it was just like that's my spot type thing, but like it was just like old head, younger cat, and I didn't understand the movement, and then I really caught it when I was just like, oh, so this is like what they're doing. But then when you catch the drumless loops and wonder how intricate it is with what they're looping, cool, it's great, but it also made my workload so much easier. Because from jump, Rico, if you're still in the chat, you know what I'm talking about. You've produced, you know samples. We're doing that from jump in our heads. We hear a song, we're like, okay, how can I flip this? Beep, bop, boop, bop, boop. And then the hardest part is taking the chop you had in your head, transferring that into whatever DSP or not DSP, whatever DAW you're using
Rico's here.
or
He says,
soundboard.
"Yep."
Yeah, it comes into any DAW you're using. You're trying to figure out how to get that chop in your head or that pitch in your head to make sense with the sample that you now have. Fine, okay, cool. And then once you're done that, then you got to find drums and somehow to make it either blend for it to not overtake the damn thing, but just but also so that it doesn't just seem like you just took the sample because people who produce oh, I know that sample, so on and so forth. You loop that and then chop that with that, and they'll call you out for your stuff. And the drums, low key, the drums is to mask the shit. The drums is to mask what you did. You put the boom bap with the boom boom to literally mask the chop that you did because it may not have been that intricate, and some dude who just hears a loop might be like, "That's that song, 1968, motherfucker. I'm gonna get that." That's that. So the new age shit is me doing all my chops and then being like, "Damn, I got 17 beats. No diss, no quarrel, but that's what it is. Tell me I'm wrong. That's what
I
it is."
could dead ass. I wasn't even sure what drumless beats were until like a year ago. I was like, wait, there's drums in these beats. I'm so confused. And then inevitably it got explained to me that no,
Yeah.
it's just the beat makers ain't adding more drums. It's just the loops with the
The loops
drums.
will have the drums. What Alchemist will do is he'll have a loop and he'll create loops. And ALC, he's my man. Alchemist is one of my favorite producers of all time. And he'll like so intricately sew in a snare there, whatever. So it sounds like it's a part of the sample, but it's really not minimalist, but it's just like playing with the mixing of the sound. Prior to that, we were just like throwing them drums on top of them, mix them a bit, but the more thuddy and thicker and boom bappy and even like crispy, and even as it got into the 2000s, as long as it slapped, your drums are great. But now the wave is to make your drums blend. And if you can't make them blend, you take them out. I won't say nothing, but I got asked for two. I sent an 11 pack this weekend to a notable Toronto rapper. Man's hit me back. He's like, I'm definitely messing with four of them. And for two of them, can you take out the drums? Producer Skinny, like scaredy cat producer Skinny's like, these niggas about to hear my samples and they're gonna put this shit in the Shazam and they're gonna steal my shit. Legit. That's what I'm thinking to this day. But it's like that's just the wave now. But I feel like I put so much into the drums and you just want me to just mute, send. What are the stems for this track gonna look like? Two two waves? Like, what are we doing here? Like, hey, that's the
This
world we're in.
is where we're at. I be
That's the world
listening
we're
to
in now.
songs because like I be like wildly into drill now. It has become like I know, but like I don't make it. I don't review it. I have
Mm.
nothing other than just an ability to be a fan of the music. I like to get sturdy, as sturdy as I can get, and to me it's fun. But
Yeah,
like you listen to the beats, bro, and I'm like, whoa, it really is sometimes just grab some song from Holden's childhood and now it's a fucking hit again. And
yeah,
man's just adding a couple ad libs and really rapping about some shit that I probably shouldn't rap about, but I'll
yeah,
sing along.
yeah. Now it's made my workload so much easier because I'll just catch a loop or even like a really good like, and I'll be like, okay, cool. It's not like where you would overthink, you just dumb it down. And you're like, oh, I could add this or this. No, 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 you could. Actually, most times I'll make two versions of the beat. A version
Mm.
for somebody and then a version for the underground now. And you know, it's
Honestly though,
cool.
I
It's
feel
fun.
like even with bars and shit, like you kind of are trying to simplify more. Cause yo,
Yeah.
evidently all these kids making music now like rock music as much as they like rap music. Cause these motherfuckers be singing rock ballads shit on rap beats
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. Like
Mm-hmm.
clearly
Mm-hmm.
that's the wave. And something I always noticed about rock is that you're trying to say the shit with the least number of words possible in a lot of ways. Whereas sometimes with rap you're trying to just add words and shit. So it's like watching people kind of flip into a more brevity driven style is wild to me. And it's like, oh, so maybe I got to use less words in my songs and
Oh yeah, and you're
not
captain syllable, so yeah, you're gonna have a hard time there.
Yo, I'm not even. Yo, I might use a lot of words. I'm saying a lot of things.
Yes.
I'm not. It's not like often repetition for the sake of whatever. It's unique content. I write
Yeah.
songs like they fucking essays. I got ideas. I marinate. I be pondering on ideas for months sometimes.
Sometimes, and I'm like, and because again, I'm listening for traditional flows, and then I'll listen to your songs, and I'll just like my brain will just be like, ah, like not in a pain. It's just like, how, like where from there? How did he get there? I don't. It's and then just trying to figure it out. It's like it's
I,
different, but it's also fun. I
yeah,
enjoy it that way.
I definitely don't know how to describe it, but everybody told me when I started making music,
Mm.
dead ass, you're supposed to try to do new things and not
Yes,
sound like everything else.
everybody else.
Then
Yeah,
I
yeah, for
found
sure.
out when you do that,
They're gonna hate you.
algorithms don't like you.
That too. Algorithms and people are gonna be like, "What are you
Yo,
doing?"
Rico Blocks is like Holden perplexes my writer brain. Basically,
Bro, it's crazy, right?
I write every line as a freestyle off the last line.
Oh
So
no.
I dead ass. I
What?
will rap the whole fucking verse and
Yeah.
then effectively freestyle whatever the next part is, and then rap the whole fucking verse and then freestyle whatever the next part is, and it just works.
Madness.
I mean,
My Go on.
I like didn't come into this in the same way that a lot of people did, right? Y'all came from like this bars. I used to write rock ballads and shit, and like so I started on some not necessarily rap. I was playing bass and shit, and then I
Bass is a rhythm like backbone spine.
oof, okay, keep her over here, right
Yes.
there.
So you know how to play that thing. You know how to run the bass. Give me
Amateurly,
one of your. Uh,
like no. Here's the thing: I could pick it up and like with some stumbling play some shit. I understand how to do it still because I did. I put about 2-3 years into it. I
so
was
you
just
pick up
really
your bass
bad
and
at
you
it.
play boom, ba boom, 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 boom. And most people are gonna be like, the flow for that. You, the flow, the T. I can't even do your style. I can't. It's a disservice to you for me to try to mimic you because I cannot. I would give it too much rhythm. You rap on an offbeat but beat. You literally
Yeah.
rap like your Blueface, like your
That's
Blueface,
why I was
but
always telling people I hear
you rap
Blueface
like
is
your
on beat.
Blueface.
Everyone
You
acts like he's off beat. I'm like, nah,
he
he's on beat. He's on a beat.
he's on a beat, but not the beat. You rap like Blue. You're like Lane of Blueface,
Yeah, I'm with that.
and
It's
yeah,
because your voice is an instrument and shit, right? So like, music is math, and in theory, I like to like try to find a cool equation. Honestly,
yeah.
I know it's geeky, but I take a very math-driven approach to music. Uh, and
Nah,
like
kidding.
it's what it is, but it allows me to maybe come up with some shit. But Holden's flow is like finding a pocket in pants that have no pockets.
Right?
I had to learn to simplify. I listened to some of my older shit, and I was like, man, I understand what the fuck syllable stuffing is now. I had to learn how to.
Syllable stuffing, man.
Believe it or not, what you're getting all now is like I actually edit shit out and like put the effort into like slicing syllables out, and this is the abridged version of it all.
That's hilarious.
I learned a bit
That's
more about the pocket. Yo, because you can rap, and if you rap fast, here's the truth about rapping fast, y'all. You're just maxing capacity most of the time, so you don't really need to have swagger. You just rap fast, and if you happen to enunciate really quickly,
oh,
and you're
that's your
able to,
swagger.
all you got to do is go quick. And yo, I was at this the jam night at Turbo House, bro. I
Mhm.
said nothing, but I said it at like quadruple time, and all the white people in the room were like, because they
Yeah,
always do it,
yeah.
bro.
Y'all lose your mind over
Facts.
freaking first of the
Even the
month
old
both
people
thugs is
do it,
your
bro.
shit.
I
Of
seen
course.
grandmas and shit freak out
That's why
over that
everybody
kind of
keeps
stuff.
bringing back "Look at Me Now" with Busta Rhymes verses. If that's not the best Busta Rhymes verse, but
It's
he
so
always has to
not.
do it because every time I get to do it, people are like big fast. Stop, man.
And ain't nobody listening to what the fuck you're actually saying.
Stop, right? Like, give me a.
like I'm gonna be real with y'all. I always had to bust out the lyrics back in the day to know what the fuck people were saying. So it's not like I was listening. Nah, I had to get the lyrics. I was never good at, like.
And I love me a double time, but man, I can't give it that much credit unless like when it's not saying the most.
Honestly, as far as bars go, I agree with Rico Blocks. It might be one of Busta's worst verses. Cause like
Yeah.
it's just filler. It's so many
Yes.
filler syllables. Cause
And
yo,
Busta's tricked double time where he just adds syllables to a word that doesn't have that many syllables.
chicken the big the bar.
Yeah, like he'll give box an extra two just to make it like, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't have to, so it's easy.
Yo, shout out though. I gotta give all
Like
that.
N when he'll be like N gotta get it. Like N doesn't need and he gave it to. Every
Nah,
time I
but
gotta get it and I gotta get it and he doesn't need to do that, but he's doing it for the extra. He's going fast.
yeah. But take a break your neck though. That shit's
Break your
impeccably
neck's
great.
great. Something
Impeccably
like
great. Or like
break your neck's great,
give me
but
some more.
give me some
Or
more is better. But even like, yeah, I mean, what's his verses? I like his verses better now when he's rapping on like West Side stuff because
fair.
that's more. I
But
feel
he's
like
like
that's more him.
no, his last like his 2021 album or whatever, that shit was like Busta is sober, clear headed, and making good music.
Mm,
Whereas I don't know that his past you could use all those words in the same order.
probably not.
But yo, I
Joey
just gotta
He's
give
one of my
love.
favorite artists that doesn't get celebrated enough.
Yo, facts. I really I saw somebody. I also feel like Ludacris deserves more love, like than he gets.
Ludacris?
Yeah.
Wait, Ludacris?
Nah, like for real. I was thinking about him. I know there's that Facebook post floating around right now. I'm not saying that. I love DMX. DMX is the guy that got me to like probably rap more than anybody else in history. Like DMX. But Luda's up there. Like I'm telling you, when I'm like a teenager, like Luda's in my top 500. Like that whole word of mouth era and all that shit. Like nah, man, I listen to
I
that
don't
shit
know.
all the time.
I love Luda, but his beat selection would bother me sometimes.
I loved his beat selection. That was one of my
Sometimes it was
favorite
good, and then
parts.
sometimes it was super ass.
I'm just saying
Like
that
he,
early part of his career, like his first like 4 albums, produced incredible hits that have aged impeccably well, and then everyone just forgot about him after Too Fast, Too Furious.
I only like Rollout now. At first, the beat
Oh
was
my
off,
god,
and I
that
was
was
just like, "What is this trash?"
Rollout's one
I
of
couldn't
those
take.
songs like I memorized when I was like trying to be a better rapper and shit as a teenager, and like that was one of those songs like
Why?
that's
Because I got nothing to lose. A game to do. Take it to do.
yes.
I can
I was like a
See that
13,
rap fast shit
14.
again.
Yeah, but Ludacris does it with like a precision where
Yes.
like it's really impressive. It's not just random. It's not just fast. It's like he's fast, slow. It's okay. It's the people that really impress me are the ones that know how to change tempo with it in the middle of a bar. So like
Yeah.
2 syllables will be like at a triple time, and then it'll flip into like a complete different time signature or something. I'm like that shit's like Luda can do that.
What do you get? I'm just gonna whip. Yeah,
Yeah.
he does. Picture perfect. You can flip. Call
And
it
so
Jasmine
that
to the
shit
bottle. Yeah, that shit is good. Yeah.
and a lot of
Yeah.
people do that, and like I mean I know that Bone Thugs and them also be doing it before, but like I think Luda brought a lot to the game, and I like him a
100%.
lot. I don't think he's better than DMX though.
Luda's
Not really.
not better than DM.
I don't know. It's just, there's a
What?
Facebook. There's just this one Facebook post that's floating around that I saw where it was like, wow, it keeps coming back because people keep commenting on it. So you know how like a post will just keep hitting your timeline over,
Yeah.
and like every 5 hours you see it again, and you're like, it's just stuck in your mind. They are not comparable. That's facts. Like DMX is in a legend tier that nobody has their first 5 albums go #1. That's
No.
just legend. Like people don't even get it. Like DMX was bigger than everybody back then.
Well, like I'll be honest, flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. I didn't like that album at all.
That's
I don't,
fair.
and I feel like it did come out super fast after "It's Dark and Hell It's Hot," and then the best
It's a
song on
valid
it was
ass
like,
criticism.
and the best song on it was a damn interlude that they used for Any Given Sunday. And yeah, My Niggas is the best song on that album, and yet it's like 30 seconds long, and that makes no sense. Um,
I
that's all I'll say.
I can't necessarily defend all of the tracks
Or
on
argue.
but I can say that the one before it and the one after it are brilliant. And then I honestly like the fourth
Yeah.
one a lot.
Then
And
there
then
was
the
X
fifth
was nice.
one slapped also. And then he was doing all the movie soundtrack shit. Like, and then it peaks with X Gon Give It to You. And then it just kind of like,
No, man. What? Wait, he did the cover of that other joint. Hold on. Oh man.
well, maybe. I don't know
No,
actually
you know what I'm talking about. You know the song I'm talking about. Hold on. It was like a.
cover.
Was it Ain't No Sunshine? No. What did he cover? It was the guy who sang Ain't No Sunshine. DMX covered another one of his songs on the sixth album after that one. And then there was X, and it was good. It was the same album where he had the dun it, dun it, dun it, dun it, that
Mm.
song. That album, Who We Be. It was on that album.
Well, that's the fifth album.
Who We Be's fifth album? Okay, shit. So then it was after
It's Ain't No
that.
Sunshine. Rico Blocks is confirming.
Yeah, they know Sunshine. She bomb. Okay, wow. Producer brain. Any producers and their beat rappers were trying to see how to modify and get in with the underground new age crowd of loopiness, but without totally messing up your style. Peep the older producers from back then. Like I just listened to a Mussolini and Ninth Wonder album today. Who Mussolini hit me up in my DMs like the other day, and he was just like, "Yo, let's work." And I was just like, "I want to send you beats." He's just like, pay me for a verse." And I was like, "You know what? I might have to invest after listening to this album." And Ninth Wonder is someone who has like definitely kept his sound, but just modified it for the new age underground, where he just turned his drums down and he made them more muffled. But it sounds like anything that and it's gonna but Derringer would make, or anything that it just sounds the same. But yeah, it's great, and it gives me ideas because I'm just like, oh yeah, all I gotta do is that, eh? And then you just trick them.
So hold on. Are you saying a rapper trying to get a bag off of you got you to a place of inspiration?
Yeah, you could say that because I was more obviously I asked the homies like, oh, I didn't know who he was, and it was literally like this. He followed me because this is funny. He followed me 100% because Craven follows me, and a lot of rappers who are either trying to get in that boat or like lane will just adjacently follow the producers that they see in there if they're trying to catch a quick bag. I don't hate it. It's cool. Do what you got to do. Um, so yeah, I caught that, and I was like, all right. We were in the DMs for a minute talking to Mussolini. Never heard of them before. Asked a few of my rapper friends. He's like, yo, he's kind of dope. I was like, cool. Um, Ice Lord follows him. I know Ice Lord for projects that or a song that he did with they read the Doctor. So I was like, okay, I'm familiar with the Ice Lord. That's cool. Checked out Mussolini's track. He's like, yeah, I got stuff with Ninth Wonder. Saw Ninth Wonder all into stuff. I was like, I really like Ninth Wonder. Little Brother's my shit. So okay, check this album out today, and I was just like, word, this is dope. So he might go ahead and catch himself a bag off Skinny because yeah, listening to Ninth, I'm like, I know what kind of beats are catered to. I got like 7 of these.
Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Nah, but I think like I don't know. I know that I was speaking to somebody, and I wish I could remember who it was, but they
Well,
were
it's not
telling
like
me
Redman hitting you up and being like, "Hey, you want to be on this mixtape?" Like, that
but
kind
they
of shit
were
was the worst.
that was pretty bad. That was different. This is more
Yeah,
like the clean side of it. Like where
yeah,
like if you read Gucci Mane's book, he talks about how the best investment in his entire career was
mm.
$6,500. It was $5,000 to Bun B and $1,500 to Killer Mike, and they did
Oh
that
shit.
track, and that's what
Yeah,
catalysted his career. Was that song, and he said that was the best investment in his entire career. And I had to sit there and be like, damn, eh? Gucci's basically saying, shut the fuck up and buy the feature, bitch. And I was
yeah,
like,
man.
I mean, Gucci knows more than me about music businesses and shit because he's somehow done quite well. I think, his book's pretty legit. It was post jail Gucci that made the book.
Yeah.
So, like,
Oh, okay, well there you go. Yeah,
so, it's like sound Gucci. And it's like,
yeah.
man, you sit there and you're like, everybody I talk to in the underground, especially because I paid to get on a show in Toronto. Shh, don't tell anyone. I'm going to get judged by my rapper friends. Not all of them, but
Mm.
some of them for real. Like, oh, I would
You
never do
can't judge you
that.
now. Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
But
Somebody told me, get the fuck out of Montreal if you ever want to win. I'm like, I don't know anybody
Oh
in the
yeah,
Nick
yesterday.
City.
Leave, and don't look back until they call you and be like, "Hey, we want you to come back for the show." Otherwise, leave now without a fuss. Get
But
out,
like,
because they won't love you until you're out of here. That's
no, facts. No, weirdly, y'all give way more shit about me when I travel. And everything I do around my traveling has everybody paying attention to me. I could drop music, y'all don't care. I could do interviews,
because you're
most people
gone
don't
and they're
care.
not. That's why.
And then I'll just be like, let me show you a picture of some mediocre oxtail I found in the middle of Brooklyn. And
I
everyone
don't want
got,
you, Brooklyn Oxtail. You're a brave man. I don't know.
bro.
You
See, well, here's what happens. You stop at the Airbnb, and then you're like, where am I going to find my food? And then you start walking around the neighborhood, and you're like, holy shit, I don't know where anything is. I don't know what anything is. It's just a bunch of random ass restaurants. You're basically gambling on everything you're eating. And I walked by. That place was open. That place was walking distance. It won the lottery of you're close enough to the Airbnb and
What
not.
time in the day did you go for them to actually have
It was
oxtail? That's the
6:30.
number one thing you don't find at any restaurant. Is West Indian food place. You ask for the oxtail, we don't have none. It's finished.
6:30 p.m. or so.
Okay, not too terrible.
I walked
Not
in. I'm
terrible.
like, yo, listen, I'm not from here. I'm from Montreal. I don't
Yeah.
even get Caribbean food like that. I don't know how to order this shit. Just tell me what to get. And they were like, get the
Robbed
oxtail.
instantly.
Nah, they were like a regular ass restaurant. They like
I
fucking,
know, I'm kidding you.
you know.
Playing with you.
Okay.
Playing with you. Yeah, people should care when you leave. That's all. That's really what it is. They just rather you be out there than you being here trying to pimp them stuff because I don't know. People are weird like that.
I think people all have a travel fetish. Not everyone. It's been made clear to me that not 100% of people care. But I'm like, nah, 95% of people seem to have this weird travel fetish. It's either they watch the shit you do that they can't do and they're like, I wish I could do it. Or they watch the shit you do that they can do, like eating pizza. Anybody can go to New York City and eat pizza for the most part as long as you don't have a record or whatever, like, obviously. But, like, 'cause again, you have conversations and people bring up all the reasons why they can't actually do things, and you're like, okay, fine, I have to put these caveats in life. But like, as long as you can travel across the border, you can go to New York City and eat that pizza. It might cost you about $3 to get that pizza experience, but you could do it, and that's a very affordable price. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
mean,
trying to do that right
not
now.
you,
A lot of people
but
give
like,
you that.
but like, it's like, so it's like it's an attainable adventure that they're like that shit. And they also like the unattainable adventures. So it's like either way, you post the most basic shit or you post the most cool shit, and everyone reacts to your shit when you're traveling. Because I think maybe
It
just
does. When you're
since
traveling, when you're out, it's because it's just like fear. It's FOMO. That's all it is. It's mostly FOMO.
yeah, and it's like, oh, I should go do that, and then most people don't pull the trigger on those plans.
It depends on circumstance what they got going on. You know, a lot of things happen. Like what it's been. You said it's almost been a year since we did this. I have an 18-month-old.
Facts.
Life is getting, and there's, you know, I mean, like, there'll be more in the future, but like, yeah, it doesn't slow down. And then you gotta clothe, and feed, and so on, and you know, so with that $300 for a pizza, you're like, yeah, that could be dope.
I
Or
mean, I'm not
I
saying
could,
that like specifically you would go just
I
for the
know, but I was
pizza.
just saying that there's other people who are just like, yeah, I don't have a job that allows me to do that. You know what I mean? Like people who were, or maybe they just had a job and now they don't, and they're just like, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of
Look, I'm not saying
circumstances.
I did any of this shit till my 30s. To be honest, I had to like grow up and prioritize and be a little more mature about my life to realize that okay, maybe some of these things is worth pulling triggers on. It's that like
Yeah.
same mentality as buy the shoe, just buy the shoe.
Just buy the shoe.
But it's the same mentality you have to adopt, like, because it's like a lot more expensive when you're
Buy
looking
the
at an
shoe.
Airbnb for 6 days in New York City and bro, everything. If you ever go to New York City, people, I'll give you one piece of advice, and you smoke marijuana. Just expect to pay about 3 to 4 times what you're used to paying before going to New York City.
And weed is
Okay?
garbage.
No. It's all
Not
Cali.
anymore?
It's all Cali imports, my G. Like I'm telling you, the $25 USD eighths are like okay. These are not bad. It's not bad because it's all at dispensaries. It's all at fucking legal spots.
I'm extra bougie now. Like I'm actually on my last stretch of weed, so I'm extra bougie. Where it's like I have to smell. It has to be the same terps. Has to be the same smell. Has to have the. It has to be gas. Has to like. If my shit don't have at least 31 THC, it ain't hitting. And that's the point where I'm just like, I see why they call it gateway, but I also see when it's time to bow out. And when the 33, 32s are the only one that Skinny can purchase, everyone's just like, yeah, like I can't just smoke any old joint. Like someone will be like, let's smoke a joint. I'll be like, what is that? What am I
Mm.
tasting? Is it
I
just
del-
burning?
no, I deliberately stay in an upper middle class range of weed just to not have that problem because I once had that problem and
No,
I
I
thought
hate
it
that
was too
problem.
expensive.
Because it's not only expensive, it's just it was the stuff I've been burning for the past like year and a half, and then all of a sudden my guy was like, it's gone. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's gone. Find it.
It doesn't. The genetics of this doesn't work like that. This plant
you,
doesn't
you,
exist.
you don't understand. Like if I'm a man, I'm a father, and I'm working and I'm doing this IT stuff, so I'm used to accustoming my body. This is my coffee, my guy. I get up in the morning. This is what I'm doing. All right. So I need the smell. Not even the smell. It has to be the taste. The
No, I
skunk
hear
slash
you.
gas is. You know what I'm saying? Like
Nah,
I didn't even know
now
gas was a terp flavor until like last week. I had no
now
idea.
that there's mail order websites that have taught me things, I am
Yeah.
aware of terms. I know that dank and gas are actually things now.
I thought if someone just be like, "Oh, I got that gas," and I was like, "Okay, buddy."
I also thought that, and then I found out no, these are search terms on
No,
websites.
that's the actual shit. So yeah, here I am, like not getting, dude. And then the worst part is like the most expensive part of weed smoking is when the weed you usually smoke is now gone, and your black ass is now stuck trying to find the shit that hits. Man,
No,
so I
I
think
haven't had that problem because the
it
websites are
sucked.
affordable.
No, so in 1 week I did a website, but then while waiting for the website, I had a treat. So then I went to the dispensary here in Montreal,
Oh,
and
don't
then
do
their
that.
shit,
Oh, you can't do.
right? Wait. So then I did that, and then I was like, oh, okay. It was called this Low and Get Me Got Gelato, bong bong bong. Except for you go and get it, and you're like on ballet November 2022, and you're like, nigga, it's January 23. I don't want this stale ass shit. Then you open it, and it's just a little too like dry, and it's just a little too clink 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 in the canister to the point where you're just like, this ain't gonna get me high. So then you're feeling mad at yourself for spending $70 on legal weed that you know ain't gonna get you at all near as high as you were just this morning. And if you had the wherewithal, your dumbass would have saved yourself a nugget instead of burning the two paper joint like you usually
No, but
do every
you're
morning.
gonna do it. You're gonna do the
You're gonna
joint
burn
though.
the two paper.
Every
You're gonna
single time.
definitely.
Every single time. Without question. And you know better. And you're gonna do it anyway.
You
I had to
do it
buy off
anyway.
a guy the other day because I didn't plan my shit right. And I'm like, and then it was like, oh, this is the old prices. I don't like the old prices because
Yep.
the new prices are good. And you just need to know people. If you know enough people, the new prices get delivered to you. So it's lit.
I've thankfully have found a spot that delivers that's like online or whatever. But like I'm legit about to hit these people because they have a point system. I'm just like, when can I start using these goddamn points?
I have
It's-
$18 on one site.
Right? Okay, so like shit's starting to get expensive. So like when can I use these points? But I'm also gonna try to hit them up and be like, listen, like I don't want to have to do this every 2 days because I smoke frequently. So listen, get me an ounce of this, send it Pondy way, and we will work something out. Because otherwise, you're gonna be getting little mail orders
Oh
from me
my G.
every couple of days.
All I'm saying is there's other places that'll just get larger amounts at better prices.
Not the same thing.
Yo, I'm saying that there are better sites out there that
I'm
exist.
sure.
Bro, this one site got craft shit. I got the craft shit one time. I let a mutual friend of ours hit that shit. He took
Mm.
4 puffs. I have never seen him zoinked off of 4 puffs
It's
before.
winked. He's winked.
He
All
was
right.
gonzo. I wasn't gonzo's because my tolerance is like your tolerance, but he was gonzo's. And that was the moment I was like,
Oh,
oh,
snap.
it's that good.
Yeah.
And I looked at it like,
You
shit,
are
what's my
like shit.
tolerance?
Right? Then you're just like, wow, should I be smoking this stuff daily? What does it do? Like, not
No,
even
I know
that, but you're
that
kind of
I
like,
just got like a sample pack because like I'm not about to go
yeah.
spend some fucking 160 on an ounce of some shit that maybe is good, and I didn't even want to spend it. It was more like I spent like $50 on a Sevens to spoil myself as a treat, because I'm like, that's what Uber Eats at this point. So
$50 on a seven was spoiling yourself, man. That
nah,
was
bro,
that was a
I'd be
yeah.
on some volume pricing at this point. So it's like $50 for That's why the New York thing was so hard. The best price I could figure out in New York was 220 USD. So let's call it 275 an ounce is the best price I could find of anything. And they're like,
That's
yo,
a
this.
pair of Jordans, my guy.
I know, but like you're also in New
Nuts.
York, so like, okay, I don't know about y'all, but sometimes when I'm somewhere else, I'm in vacation mode a bit, even if I'm there to grind or whatever. It's like, I don't want to like be here and then deny myself all the opportunities because this might be like, the last time I'm here.
Mm. No, I'm like, I need to eat when I get home, bro.
You have a kid. You have a
What?
kid. You have a
Yeah.
kid.
No, man, that's just big. No, 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 no. I wasn't doing that before. I was cheap.
No,
Nothing
I'm
like
gonna be
that.
a
I
lot
only got.
cheaper this time around, but like, because I splurged the last time. I was like a little bit extra. I was like, you know what, this is gonna be the trip where because everyone gets mad at me for how cheap I am. So I tried once or twice just to like, what happens
Tell
if you just
people
say
I can
yes?
spend. See,
Just a little bit. Like I went on the Uber Eats at 4 a.m, and I forgot that the price was USD. Got some delicious ass food.
Whoa,
Checked the credit
whoa,
card. Um,
whoa.
it was 40, not the 30. I thought it was, but it was so good, bro. Sometimes you get some good ass junk food, like, and you're like done with that shit, and you're like, it was worth
What
it.
have I done? It was
It was
worth it.
worth it. I
Oh
mean,
man.
like it wouldn't be worth it in Montreal, but it's worth it because I just got to Manhattan. I had just gotten drunk on. I found out New York drinks is here's another. New York drinks is not like Montreal drinks. You get
Yeah,
a double rum and coke. Don't
yeah.
get a double rum and coke. You're not getting what you think a double rum and coke is.
What
You're
are you
getting
getting?
70 to 80% rum and there's some coke in there.
Oh fuck yeah.
And I didn't
Okay.
know I was getting that. I got a little drunk and then wandered around Manhattan and then got that delicious food. But yo, bro, the metros are open all night. It's the
Yeah, they have
best.
to. Yeah. No, no, no. New York subway's open. No, no. You ain't seen Ninja Turtles? You ain't trying to like, come on, man.
Yo, when you're
All sorts of
like,
gang warfare that goes down there. That is the one spot where I'm not really trying to be at.
broski, it's not Toronto in 2023. It's New York in 2023. You just take the subway,
Toronto
you're good.
2023. This is very low key and a guilty pleasure of mine to watch. You ever seen Tales of Toronto? Shouts to this
Uh,
YouTube channel.
I may
Uh,
have. I
Tales
may
of
have.
Toronto tells some of the most wildest, crazy, like wild west shit that happens in Toronto's involving mostly Toronto rappers and the bids and and they whoa, whoa, whoa. I never, ever want to get caught in some Toronto block. Forget that shit.
Well,
No way.
here's the thing, though. Like, it's when you go
No
look
way.
at all that internet shit, and then you walk into the hood thinking about all that internet shit. That's the
It's just
mistake.
internet shit, true, but it's still flipping like
But it's like,
shooting in
like
crowds broad
because
day,
what
like it's
happens is
nuts
like,
shit,
because
bro.
I watched that shit too, right? And what it is it's like somebody will take a period of like 6 years and
Yeah, and just
compile,
document every
and you're getting like 6 years spread the fuck out,
fuck out in
3 in the morning shit, and it's like, oh my god, I don't ever want to go there.
what's happening in Toronto. It's crazy.
And you're like, but actually, like
Not that bad at all. It's
have
super
you seen
spread
how
out. This
big
is
Toronto is? Have you seen how huge and sprawling that place is?
no man. I don't understand how a town. I don't understand how a city 5 hours away and every Ute has such a vastly different accent than us. It's not the French.
No, it's
We have Caribbean influence as well.
I
Just go to
think it
focus.
has a
You know what I'm
lot more
saying?
to do with the U.S. borders than not. Because we got more of like a New York meets French thing going on, and
Right.
they're farther from New York, right? They're more connected. I think Buffalo, like New York City, I mean, whereas
Yeah.
Buffalo and some other shit and that part of the thing is
Well,
more connected to Toronto. So it's different accents just based on the different regions
it's
that
the
are blending
twang, and
around.
I don't. Yeah, it's just super funny.
And
But
then Drake came, and now we all say mans.
no, people. Yes, but no. My dad was saying man's before Drake. Like I'm not.
Yeah, but I
I
mean,
ain't kept that.
we as in the general public now go
The
mans and
general public.
fam a lot more.
No.
I never said fam before Drake, I'll be honest with you. It
Fam
wasn't
is
Drake that
universal.
made me say fam, but Drake
Fam is the
popularized.
fam is. I can see fam being that one. Yeah.
And
That's
then, yeah, I don't know. I like Drake. He's grown on me.
Love Drake. Drake's great. Drake's awesome. He said he's grown on you.
Yo, I was one of them white boys back in the day that did not like Drake.
Oh,
On
like he
some-
doesn't rap. I love it when white people try to tell us when we don't.
Started
rap.
from the
Like, all right.
bottom so bad. And then the other
Oh,
day,
that's not
I'm walking
rap.
down the street. I'm just like, started from the bottom, not a whole team. You know why? Because the whole
Wait.
team wasn't anywhere for me when I was first listening to Started from the Bottom. So I'm not
Wait
relating
a
to
minute.
this
But
shit.
you didn't see Drake and be like, brethren? You didn't. I mean, he wasn't announcing it like that. But you know what
I mean,
I mean? That's a win for both of us.
I'm just like,
Right?
I didn't understand it back then because like I wasn't where girls was at, and that's something that I learned about the EDM Drake album. People that go where girls was at appreciated that album a lot more than people that are never where girls is at.
Right. But what I'm saying is, as much as Beastie Boys and hip hop did that for, to do this
mean,
for the
I'm
black
not.
community,
I've never
Drake
really.
did that like Goku. Like Drake
But,
is a Goku of that.
I feel like that way about Drake as a Canadian more than I feel like him as a Jew. Like to
Word.
me, that's the part. Like, but I've just never really cared that much like that. Like these are things you don't control per se, right? Like so, I'm more of that like chosen family vibe where like I respect what Drake has done to legitimize the Canadian music scene, and it's impossible to deny that man any of the accolades to make all of our lives easier. If you're a Canadian hip hop artist, your life is easier because of Drake.
Because of Drake.
And if you can't even like acknowledge that, you're probably lacking a self-awareness in the game that is going to make your life harder, and you probably don't have music that girls like. Those are
Big
two
facts.
things I'm willing to say generalized. So there's like the 2% of you that are like, yeah, well, girls like I don't care. like, it's just the truth of it. Every time you try to have a conversation, man's is like, well, there's those 7 exceptions. And I'm like, yeah, but those 7 people ain't funding a career.
Who are these people who keep bringing up those 7 exceptions? I try not to talk to those people. They're going to be like, no, I'm not talking about him. Forget him. No, we're not
Every
talking about
conversation, it's like everybody needs to clarify that you're not like explicitly speaking about 100% of all people in every demographic. I'm like, I feel like that should be implied.
that. Yeah.
I feel like the base
Generally.
understanding should be like we're all unique individuals, but mob mentality a thing, and crowds be funding your show. So you gotta pitch to crowds and sell to individuals. And like, if you can't, I guess, separate those ideas, it gets really complicated to have meaningful conversations on topics like marketing and planning and all that shit that people hate to talk about when they make art.
Yeah. Really hate to talk about that shit. Like, I would make it my whole part and right to just have someone else handle that. I've been trying to get someone else to handle that shit since I started doing this, just so I can make the damn art.
Yo, but it's
I
wild
mean,
because you
I'm
like.
not terrible at it. Obviously, if I don't care about it and I use it as
Yo,
a
I'm
passion
glad you're
slash-
feeling better, Mallory. Mallory says she's feeling a little better with this interview. That's lit.
Awesome. Glad you're feeling better. Yeah,
But-
like with
Yo,
this
but, like,
Figgy
what you're
stuff, I did
doing
it
with-
so laid back. I was so laid back with it, and like it.
But like, yo,
more
look at my
prominent than
biggest
music.
successes, right? Like,
Yeah.
honestly, the hook of my live show is I start running in place when I perform Lose Weight, and it fucks people up. Like, it's these little things. You just feel like these little storytelling gimmicks. Honestly, everything I'm doing now comes from comic books and wrestling. And everything that is from these worlds and how they market it. Because, A, the WWE, you can clearly see how battle rap is jacking the WWE, and they're trending on Twitter every 3 days. Like, I don't know how much, if you've been paying attention, you know battle rap is trending regularly in 2023. If
Yes,
not,
I have seen that.
And what they're doing is a bunch of WWE style promos and build ups and storylines and plots. And like, yo, if you want to like flip that, if people want to talk that industry talk, well, industry is based on entertainment at a broader sense of just like, music, right? So like, what we all should be doing is taking our shit less seriously, but more seriously at the same time. So less seriously in the sense that we embrace our silliness and be more melodramatic like wrestling, and embrace the characters that we embody with our music. Yo, I keep it real with my music, but this shit's parasocial, y'all. The person I am off camera is not the person y'all see on camera, and that's how it is for pretty much every MC. The guy on the stage is not the human off stage. Everybody's a little bit different. We have to be like that. It's just how this game works. And so, yeah, a little bit forgot where I was going. Oh, yeah. So we have to learn to embrace how the character can be silly or whatever. And that doesn't mean shit all about you as a human. So it's like, imagine we're trying to promote the next show and you get a podium in the room. And Willie fucking Scandals walks out with the most dead-ass serious, ready to rant about hip-hop shit voice and starts talking about this show that you're going to come to. And there's no, like, indication per se it's a joke. It's just a real ass Willie Scandals rants at you for a minute at a podium dressed like he's in a presidential campaign or some shit. That shit would be hilarious. Motherfuckers would actually interact with that post. And like, then we tie it into a campaign. Like, like I would play the Pickles shit because that would make sense. But like, if we can somehow create lore like the Montreal Hip Hop scene is the MCU, and have our respective little comic book series kind of intertwine into a greater universe, then the city can latch onto the shit. And that's how you build a fucking ecosystem and scene. Just look at, honestly, comic books and shit. Because what's the difference? All of our personas that we put out are just the superheroes and supervillains and these different things. Or they're the wrestlers and the shit. So there's all these proven, successful marketing formulas out there that we could be emulating. And we look at Billboard and be like, let's copy the fucking journalist and shit. I don't know. I'm confused sometimes. But like,
No, you're right, and your idea does work. And Willie Scandals being like that, and you approaching it that way, right? But then there is reason why that doesn't go down is that could go down amongst a group of friends that regularly deal with and entwine and know each other's personalities and so on and so forth. But if you're just put it this way, if you don't know Willie Scandals and you just see like 2 or 3 of his pros, just like off book face, comes off a bit of a dick.
well, but
If you don't know Bumpy,
you have to get
and especially if it's towards if it's aimed at or any way surrounding mainstream hip hop versus what he does,
we've been toning him down. You want to hear?
Yeah.
Want to hear what happened last night at the Tony Yayo show?
I do want to hear what happened exactly.
So Boopy's there. I've never called him that one time. So Rich
Shout
Flex
out to
comes
Grant.
on.
That's my cousin Grant Crevier. That's we're family, so we all call him Bumpy.
So Rich Flex comes on, and it's slightly pitched up. And I go, yo, Willie, what you think it is? You like this? He's like, yeah, it's pretty good. And Drake was rapping. And I got Willie Scandals to admit he liked the Drake song.
He was one, and I was actually going to get into that. I was going to say, like, Willie looks like the type of dude that says that it doesn't, like, fuck with Drake.
And I'm the type of guy that went to Willie's crib and played the Drake album just to make sure he heard it one time.
But then, okay, I'm the type of guy to have 5 verses and or freestyles to be like, no, don't listen to that. That's for the girls. You want to hear this. And I have those tracks for him to be like, you, listen to that. You will like Drake now.
Yo,
I'm glad you did that.
Honestly, just recently, Lemon Pepper Freestyle is arguably a great fucking bars track.
Yes.
Where, like, if you like rap, you should like that. Or, like, the one he did with 21 Savage on the EDM track. You know, like,
yeah.
Like I don't see how you could. It's too trappy. Anyway, we be working on the some of the media presences because, yo, all of us have to, like, consider. I actually got a lecture from a 21-year-old about leaving her on red for an hour.
Yeah.
And apparently
for an hour.
It was for an hour. I was like, hold on, this is an unrealistic expectation in my life. I accidentally hit the thing and I couldn't respond to the reel or whatever.
Right.
And she felt it was like negative energy. And like I was sending salt or something and I was like, wow, that's like a, I didn't know it was like that to be honest, because I'm old and I feel like most of us leave each other on red, and we just all kind of got used to the "we'll answer when we answer" version of life.
Someone put that "will answer when we answer" thing into motion, and it's not "we'll answer when we answer." It's we will answer people that we're more excited to speak to quicker than that. And for you, it kind of goes on a scaled timeline. You know what I mean? If I don't give a shit, I'm giving you a week before I respond to you. If I
But
care
there's
about
okay,
you more
but
and more, it's like an hour, 2 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I hear what you're saying with that.
and then even then for real time, I had to be like, and personally, I used to be like instant response to everything. I had to be like, nah, Holden, you gotta work out now. You don't need to be
Yeah.
answering nobody when you're on an exercise bike sweating. That
Hmm.
motherfucker can wait till you're not sweating,
Yeah.
and like that's the type of shit where you're like, oh shit, I didn't know leaving people on red could be a thing. But I got so confused at first, and then I'm like, I guess people, yeah. I found out I snubbed somebody at a show recently and that they're not happy with me because I didn't say what's up, but I never met them in real life before, and I was like, I didn't know that was them.
Yeah.
Whoops.
There's a lot of that. I am not even aware of how many people know that I'm a thing or I am who I am. So
Mm.
shout out to Galio, produced by Galio. Um, Met him the other day at the same show. Had a full ass conversation. We followed each other. We talked. The next day, I was like, "Oh shit, that's you." He's like, "Oh, that's you." And that was that. That was calm and that was cool. That was like a recognizing, "Oh man, that's just Green Lantern. I was just hanging out with the Flash. We didn't know who we were
Mm.
because Justice League type shit." But then I'm
Yeah, no.
also like, I never want to introduce myself. Go to people be like, "Hi, I'm Skin Deep." Like I can't do that. I can't. I just can't.
I
I'm not
got
letting
used to
myself do
it.
that anymore.
I just got used to this shit. Like, I'll be standing. It depends on who I'm with. If I'm by myself, it
Mm,
depends. I'm in the mood. But if I have a Showbiz or a Chris Chrome or a Shvelly or one of these guys around, it's almost like a pissing contest to flex on our networking first, which is a
mm,
weirdly positive thing. But we
yeah.
all trying to like network, like we compete. We take notes after like who we met at the
Mm.
event and like our flexing. Like, yo, I met this guy. Yo, I met this person. I got this shit. It's actually more people should probably do that. You probably get more shit out
More
of
people
life.
should definitely more or less do that. Yeah, yeah, for sure. There
I
were
didn't
so
really.
many people that I didn't know their face. Like you said, showbiz, and you said mentioned showbiz to me like many, 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 many times. Till I finally clicked on the IG, and I'm just like, I know this guy.
Yeah,
Like just from
he's
seeing him at shows, I'm just like, I know you. I've seen you millions of times. We have dapped each other up a couple times, I'm sure. Just from being in the same area around the same people. Yo, what up? Everyone's spoken to Swift. Hey, what's up? Blah 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 blah. I met showbiz. I must have. We may not have never had a conversation, or I may not have actually remembered, but like, yeah.
nah.
So
But yeah, basically, I told him he needs to know who you are too, because he had the same. I'm not sure who Skin Deep is, but again, he might not know the name Skin Deep because your
because I'm not
Facebook.
running around, I'm not
But
running
it's
around being like,
also
I'm skin deep.
the Instagram you push is Action Figgy, and your
Yes,
Facebook profile that you're active on is your
my
government.
name, my government, Kim
So there's,
Roberts. I'll tell
bro, I had
everybody.
no, even I will not forget the first time like you emailed me and it said like whatever. I had no idea who the fuck you were or anything because it was in this
Yeah,
phase of me being
yeah.
introduced to the scene online, and it's like, yo, it gets mad confusing to keep track of people who go by, oh, Skinny, Skinny. I'm like, who the fuck is Skinny? This a kill guy sent me stuff.
It okay. That I can't even explain how that happened, and I'm glad it happened, but it just happened in itself. For that, so Skin Deep was a thing. I worked hard on getting people to actually to get people to call me Skin Deep. I can't believe that actually worked. I got people to call me Skin Deep. So I got an alias. I thought of it, and then people got people to call me by that alias. Many people who I had previously introduced them to as Akil, as my government. So imagine you step out. Hey, this is my government. I want to make beats, but I'm also filming a documentary from John Abbott on hip hop. So I'm going to be following you, and we're going to hang out, and so on. I didn't burn trees at this point, so we're just going to hang out. Cool. Then dip back, and then come back out, and people be like, "Oh, hey, Keel," and you're like, "No, no, no. Name's Skin Deep now. I produce under that moniker, and I drum under this moniker. Okay, from Skin Deep. Cool." Simultaneously, year 2012, when I was really knocking shit down, people all got just didn't want to call me Skin Deep, and everybody, I think even shouts to 80, maybe he kind of coined it, and so did a few others, Rico including. But everyone at one point just started calling me Skinny.
Mm.
I was not skinny. let me reiterate, was not skinny. So here are people calling me skinny, and I was kind of heavy. Boy, was that confusing, but it stuck. Stuck to the point that the secondary name is based so fully on a nickname of my nickname. Action
Honestly,
Figgy Skinny is based fully on the fact that anybody calls me skinny, and you have to remind people, oh yeah, he produces under SkinDeep. But like, I could just change my name to Skinny, and it would probably do better.
nah, I think SkinDeep might be better on some SEO shit. Skinny's
Yes.
a hard fucking sell. I had to go from HSR to Holden Stephan Roy because I'm not competing with Hamilton's bus service, bro. It's just not possible. It's a fact, though. You can't do it. It can't. It's not even possible. Um, but like, they can't change your name, so I went with what's on my birth certificate, and there's no copyright in the world that can force me to change my hip hop name now.
That's true.
Um,
I was
but yeah,
debating taking this skin deep out of my Facebook name the other day, but then I was like, but then if someone looks for me, they won't know it's me. And I still have that deep down inside, like,
I
man,
think you
I'm
should.
38.
No, it's good to keep the brands kind of separate with monikers a little bit, like from like an algorithm point of view, keeping like skinny in a sense. Skinny is to me more like the influencer personality, like that's who was a podcaster. Whereas
Yeah.
like skin, because I have to think about how to brand people when I write their titles and shit. But like so, Skin Deep is like the music side, whereas like it is different. Like, and you did keep them separate, and like frankly, the audience that's gonna follow Skin Deep posting beat reels is probably not the same as the toy shit.
It's also hard. I don't know how to keep my beat producer IG very beat producery. Posting reels or posting like getting a fancy video and then putting an audio of a beat that I just made 30 seconds ago behind it is like, yes, it's marketing, but it's also like my phone, I had an essay, it wasn't doing that. Without losing half of its battery, I just post it to my story, do the hands free. You get to see it. It's there. It's good. I have my logo. Perfect. Boom, boom, boom. All right. We're golden. But then I also have spot for like my personal stuff, like shit I find funny. Whatever. I'm gonna post shoes that I buy. I'm gonna post not a picture of my kid, but something that I'm doing with her, so on and so forth. And I feel like that is more accepting in the toy world, where I could literally post toys and then switch up to Care Bears and switch up to something else random, and it's all very accepting. Whereas in the producer world, at one point you'll have someone that's daily following your stories and checking them, and at some point they'll just fall off because, hey, watching a little girl play with her, kitchen set is just too real for them. You know what I'm saying?
Or algorithms.
Algorithms.
Like I'm like
Yeah,
low key. I have to keep posting pickle things now.
I know.
It's stupid.
Don't you want to also stab yourself in the foot for having those
Nah, I
pictures
sold
out?
12 units of merch.
Yeah.
It's I know it sounds crazy, but you do something for a decade of your life and fucking honestly don't win, and then all of
Mhm.
a sudden you get a real ass win, like one where even your peers got to take their hats off to it, even if they don't like you, because like a real ass like I made money on this off of Pickles. That's crazy to me. Like actual revenue on like I mean, you make money on music or whatever, but that's to me not the same thing as an idea, like off
Mhm.
of just the polarity of Pickles. And there's so many other things you could have done it with, but I think Pickle Rick made my life easier, and I didn't really make that connection till
Pickle
after the
Rick,
fact.
yeah, probably made your life quite easy. I haven't gotten there yet with that, and I refuse to just post shit for an algorithm. Like, if someone's gonna tell me if you just post beat stuff, then you know, uh, West Side Gun's gonna all of a sudden like your page. Whatever. Like, cool,
Yep.
maybe, but
No,
chances of
I
that
agree with
happening.
you. But the pickle thing is a little different because what
Yes,
happens is people hit me in the DMs after and go,
they
Holden,
start
I
taunting
don't
you now.
really understand it. I just think of you when I see pickles. And I'm like, wait a second, you can't even pay normally to get that kind of real estate in a person's fucking attention span. So the fact that this entire group of people are being conditioned to see me at a common food item, holy shit, this is like crazy wins in my opinion. So I'm really into that shit. But also, like, I walked into a party and they were just talking about the pickle guy. They didn't know I was there. They didn't know when I was walking in. I just overheard this whole conversation about the pickle guy, and I'm like, it's terrible in the sense of like, if you're trying to take yourself too seriously,
Right.
but I don't. I'm a 35-year-old that does average. How the fuck am I trying to flex like I'm the best? Like, in what conceivable metric am I able to come at it anything other than not taking myself too seriously? Because let's be real, my whole life is Ludacris. All of it. Like, it's Ludacris shit. I don't even come from where people. Some guy looked at me and said, "You look like a beat maker. You look like an alchemist type." I'm like, what does that mean? I'm not a beat
I don't know what
maker.
that means. I don't know what that means. You.
Beat maker? But like, you know me, but like,
Yeah.
I was like, that's what people think. And I'm dead ass.
That works for you, and I'm glad I'm very glad that the kind of the pickle, the pickle thing happened for you, and it kind of got you to a point where you have like a niche now, and you know what direction to kind of go into with it.
Well, that's just for selling clothes. Honestly, all of that's for the merch line. I didn't know what to do with merch. And I didn't want to release something with my name on it. And I didn't want to release something with my face on it. Because low key, I don't want to wear anybody's shit that has their name or face on it at 35. I'm not going to wear it. I'll wear like that cool ass album cover Shabo collabed with Monkey. I'll wear that as a fucking thing because that's a fucking nice ass art piece. Or like grimy shit's nice. Or like a brand I'll wear. Like Regulators, they're a brand and they happen to be the rap name, so they're an exception. But like, mostly I don't want to wear names like that. It just seems very not fashionable, to be honest with you. So I wanted to create something that people would wear because it represented something. And then I realized that you make a song about pickles and you find out thousands of people have fucking opinions. You're like, it's deeper. Like, it's not, okay, like, it might come off corny and superficial to people, but like, dead ass to me, it's like, I don't like the fact that people get mad at me because I don't like pickles. I lived through that for like my whole adult life. And I was like, yo, fuck all of you. That was where that song came from. I was on stream and there were like 7 people telling me I can't make a song about not liking pickle chips. I swear that's what happened. There are like,
Not liking pickled chips.
because the song's called I Don't Like
Okay.
Pickle Chips. That's the name of the song, right? And I don't like pickle chips. And then in that I was, I expressed my general dislike for pickles, and then that's all people like took away from it is Holden doesn't like pickles because whatever. And then now people like, I don't know, it was. But really, to me, it's like, why do we care what other people eat like that on a like on a person? Like, why does it bother you that I don't like pickles? That's the shit that's baffling to me. Is that people get like upset with you if your food preferences don't link up with their stuff. To me, it's deep as shit. But like, I get how it comes
People have
off.
like a control issue, I guess, with it more or less.
But like, it's hard to convey that in a song and actually make people give a shit.
I'm just glad it stopped you from doing them live videos for you being in the shower. Because boy, after I was about to DM you, like, stop it.
Yo,
That shower shit was
you want to
nuts.
talk reactions though? You want to talk
Of
reactions
course,
though?
reactions. I'm sure reactions, but that's like you want it that bad, and
No,
I
I'm just
applaud you for
but
it.
it's
I
like,
applaud you for it.
I'm
No,
okay
let
with
me-
it
let-
though.
I applaud you for it because you go the distance. Whereas I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like I
Like,
don't know. You know what I mean?
the only reason I wouldn't necessarily pursue shit like a porn career in a serious capacity is the stigma that would come with it. It's not like I'm cool with it. I see all that shit as art. Like, to me, it's like I know, but like ethically, I don't have a problem with that shit. I don't think see it as whatever. Sometimes like, because you know what happened? I learned to make videos and I learned how to produce content. And that's just another kind of content. But what also happened is I worked with a bunch of people that work at MindGeek and had Data Gang talk with them about the fucking habits of search engines and the search terms and the volume they get on porn habits. And I'm just so fascinated by the whole industry as it is, the legal side. I'm not a fan of the bad side of it, but the legal side is truly fascinating. It's literally being a rapper, but doing something that sells better. So
Yeah, I
like,
couldn't. You have the brain capacity to study that much. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a
I,
content dude, right? Like, by day job shit. So it's just kind of like that's my field, is to like
right,
content
exactly.
market.
I'm in the. This is weird. I was weirdly kind of not popular, but popular in high school, where it was a struggle because it was like there was popularity in terms of people knew who I was, but they would still kind of fuck with me. And but I see the industry now where it's turned to, with all this content, the content chase versus how much it's turned into also a popularity contest has immediately turned me
Well,
off.
hold
Whereas
on.
I,
Are we not gonna act like Tupac wasn't naked in a bathtub covered in chains, and that Big Daddy Kane wasn't half near stripping and trying to seduce everybody's girlfriend through half of his
okay,
career,
this is true, but
and that
I didn't
like
listen
all
to
of
any of them
I'm just saying all of
coming
this
up.
shit that people, a lot of everybody's favorite rapper was in a movie and did some extra shit and was like
Right,
more. They were in the news.
right.
They did, like either whether they were wilding out or whether they were like doing incredible shit. So like it's just kind of always been that. That's what happened when I studied music history. Is since the
Hmm.
20s till today, honestly, ain't shit changed but how many cameras is out. Like it really, like, I know it sounds weird, but like you want to talk about record labels giving drugs to synthesize artists, go look at the whole 60s Brit wave, and they were feeding them all speed and all that. It's the same bullshit. Like,
Yeah,
it's not even new. So it's like, wow, I guess, like, if you want to be a commercial artist and that's your goal, like you want to make money off of the art, there are rules to the game, and you either embrace the rules to the game or you don't. And
yeah.
I don't see a choice around it. This isn't like, good lord, I spent most of my fucking 10 years of music trying to be the guy to find the fucking new formula around making money in music. And I'm not saying sex is the only option, but like, man, it's always been a pissing show fashion contest of a bunch of shit. Like, it's just almost always been this thing that everyone's running from. Commercial art, the shit that sold real well, not the underground. Because what people also forget is that for every rapper from the hood that you saw was the 100 other homies that never made it, but their stories never got put on YouTube.
Yes, that's
So
true.
it's like, when you really look at music history, it's like, we live in the best motherfucking time to be a musician, because it costs
Yeah,
nothing.
it
We
does
can all
cost nothing.
afford it. Bro, we have studios in our cribs.
We
Both of
do,
us.
we do. It's just it's the time it takes, and I probably wish when I was in my early 20s and 30s and I had the time, I wish it was probably more the formula was given more freely.
Mm,
10 years ago the formula wasn't given so freely.
that's facts.
And the algorithm didn't fuck you over that bad. You could still catch a good 500, 600 off of
Well,
some shit that was generally good.
you know what I think changed, like crazy changed?
Mm.
Is when everyone is poor, and you see this with the young people, you're innovative as fuck.
Oh my God, yes.
And I think we can all afford things now. So we focus on the cost. So one of the things that happened to me in this interview process, and it's really correlated with a lot of the goofy shit y'all saw me do in 2021 and 2022, like a lot of shit maybe people question is, but I talked to a 17-year-old and I just listened to how he logic through not having money from his parents.
Mm.
And he was making more music than me. And I had to
Yep.
really process that. This 17-year-old with no funds figured out ways to make more music than me with equipment. And I thought back to when I started the podcast and how much money I spent on gear that honestly, lapel mics would have covered and cost me like $25 each.
Yeah.
But you think you need all this shit. I think it's called the Toolbox Paradox or something if y'all want the real fucking Googleable shit. And like, nah, it's unnecessary. So I just put out a year's worth of music without paying an engineer to see what would happen. And guess
And
what? Pickle
you're doing good.
chips.
Yep.
All of it. All of that.
Yeah.
Actually, a few of those joints, one of them shits is so, like, came out of that series. It goes over so well at live. We actually have to go re-record it and, like, turn it into a proper single because of, like, the experience. So I made 90 songs and got, like, 3 bangers out of that shit.
90 songs and you got three bangers out of
Well, to me,
90 songs.
I don't know if there's
Okay.
more, but like you get how.
I was literally like, fuck.
Bro, what happened was I memorized the pickle chip song, and I
Mhm.
didn't write that, so I had to transcribe all the lyrics, and I only rapped it the one time when I recorded it, so I have no memory of this shit. Now I'm trying to learn some flow I don't know and shit. It was as awful as trying to memorize. I'm not a good memorizer. Like some people be like, I hear it. Like basics be like, I hear a song 5 times and I know it by heart. And I was like, go fuck yourself. I have to put hours and hours and hours into memorizing my own fucking music. So it was terrible. So I didn't bother to memorize any of the freestyle songs, except for that one that Bonnie's on, because Bonnie's on it, so that's fun. But like, so that's it. I don't know what's good or bad in there. I won't ever really bother to memorize them. So unless somebody writes out all the lyrics for me, I'm never gonna memorize them because transcribing lyrics is terrible. So I actually moved back to writing and stopped the freestyle songs because of that. And I need to have the lyrics so that I can perform the music after. And that was a whole tangent, but y'all stuck around with it. I'm seeing that view count. Shout out all of you watching. But
Oh, it must be so tiring. Oh man.
I don't know.
I will keep my tired and not trade it for your tired because you are probably
But
tired. The content
I don't
intake
know.
all day long. Like to shut off, can you?
Never. I
Yeah,
did
you see?
mushrooms. I did mushrooms
See?
and had this whole breakdown in front of like the whole team. But part of it was like my brain just never stops. Like it never stops, like ever. I have to
Yeah.
like, I
That's why I
honestly,
dipped, boy. Oh, I'm comfortable. I dipped and I got a career. I said, fuck that. I love music. I love music. Don't get me wrong. I love music. I love content. I love people. I love it. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, you niggas ain't buying me a house. And this rap
nah,
shit ain't
that's facts.
buying me
But
a house.
yo,
I am done. And
weirdly,
when I realized I couldn't turn my brain off, bro, when I was lying there 3 o'clock in the morning, I was like, I gotta be up making these beats because some other producers making these beats. And if I don't make these beats, this rapper won't get it. And just different kind of worrisome. Cut it, dead it in the water. I had to.
honestly, I just am the kind of person where regardless of it, my brain is not gonna stop. I could not
Bro,
have.
when you first came over, I looked at you, I dead ass. You left my house. I'm gonna say that boy's gonna have a nervous breakdown because his shit don't turn off. I knew it. I know. It's scary. No, that doesn't scare you.
I mean, sometimes you have this like, okay, where it affects me is when I realize how few people really be like that in my like personal life.
Right.
The
Right,
only
right.
people that I find like that honestly are artists
Mhm.
at my age group because everyone else that's like that's probably not out there like that unless they're an artist or
Oh,
on a
because
hustle.
y'all are what, 35? It's shit or get off the pot time. That's why.
Yeah,
For
but what
most
I
of
mean
y'all, it's
is
the
like
turning of the axis where it's
like
like,
people who be like wildly on that my brain don't turn off thing. Like it's mad complicated to socialize. Like, bro, the hardest part of fucking events is like the small talk and like
oh,
not
yeah,
being weird about that shit. Not like
yeah, yeah.
well they being Holden about it is definitely an adjective these motherfuckers use and everybody has a different meaning to it is what I've learned.
Jeez.
And nah, I mean, here's the thing though, like that's what comes with the territory. Like
Mm.
end of the day, like look at Riri. You either
Mhm.
loved it or you hated it, but that was the reactions. I loved it for the record. That was amazing. I don't know how anyone could dislike her Super Bowl performance. Just to be clear.
Not dislike, but be underwhelmed for the hype it got. But that's because it got crazy hype, and anything that got that much hype is not gonna live up to the hype that it received. Also, Rihanna never moved that much, anyways. Rihanna is not a good dancer by
But she's
any means. She was never the greatest dancer in the world. She was never queen choreography. Like I saw her at a Glow in the Dark tour, and Rihanna moved the same amount, pregnant or not. She moved the exact same amount.
but her
She ain't try. She ain't
presence
did
with
move.
like her presence is
Yeah,
crazy though. I was
it's
looking
her
at her
presence,
face
really.
the whole time. And I was like, oh shit, that's something I can't do yet. I don't think I'll ever do it like that. That's beyond what I'll know how to do because she's and then she turned it off at the last second when she thanked everyone. It wasn't until the performance was, and I watched her turn it off and thank everyone sincerely, and I was like, the
Game face.
switch, bro. Like, oh my God, it was incredible skill. Like everything about her performance to me was god tier. Like the choreograph, the way she synergized those songs together.
No,
In
the
this,
cat moves. No, no, no. Why are you licking your face like you took that from cats? Fuck out of here. That wasn't good choreography. That was bad. The whole this thing and then the no, no,
okay, no,
no.
that was
Bat
that
2C
was
type shit. Stop it.
that was.
That was garbage. That was part was garbage. Where she
I
was
will
the
agree
one
with you.
little thing where she got really active. She started doing the cat paws and then she like licked herself and did the
It
cleaning.
did look
That
very
was trash.
TikTok-y. I
That was
know I've
super
seen
trash.
that on TikTok before. That exact dance move.
Yeah, if you've seen Cats the movie, you've seen that move, bro. What do you mean?
I've never seen Cats the movie. I'm not a musicals person. I'm just not.
What I'm saying is it was there before TikTok.
Fine. I just know it from TikTok. You know how much shit I know from TikTok? I'm up in
Your
hotel
generation.
lobby right now. I'm up in.
What? Your generation. Like, yeah, you know
I,
this
I
from
I only
TikTok.
got on this song like a couple of days ago, like maybe a couple of weeks ago, because randomly it came on with the name, and I'm like, oh, that's that TikTok song. And bro, it was enough. I hearted the shit, and like people can get mad all they want, but TikTok has put me onto so much music that I really like, and it works. It just be like that. What I don't like is watching people rap over the random beat snippets and all the really obvious freestyles. Like write the shit. If you're gonna do a duet, write the shit.
No, the art of it is to freestyle it.
Ah man, I can't watch them. I just can't watch them. Cause I
The
go, bro. I
free.
follow like fucking every local rapper. That's all I'm seeing
I
is
make it my
people.
point not to follow. Like I try to follow less rappers. That's my like goal
Yo,
in life now.
but
I'm trying to
dude,
follow less
so you know
rappers
how much
also.
of a flex it is when somebody goes to pull up the Insta on my phone and I'm already following them, and they're like, "Oh wow, you already know about me."
It's an even bigger flex to be like, oh snap, let me go follow you right now
It's
because I
not.
don't care
I'm
like that.
you
Like
don't
I'm not
because you're
not
not
like not to
you're
be like yeah.
you don't. I'm telling you, I see the look in people's eyes and shit sometimes.
They
And yeah,
care like
bro,
that.
because it meant that they were so significant that I was
Oh,
already following them. You're from a different era where the social media probably don't hit the same.
it hits the same, but it's also like because it comes with weird behavior that because of it, because it's just social media, you can't get mad at or feel a way about. So I just do away with most of it, and it saves me a lot of trouble. Like a lot of trouble.
Social
Like
media got me paid like crazy in life.
that's
Like the
super
day
dope.
job shit. Like so it's
Yeah, of course, for your day job shit. That is great. I mean, it works. It does work. It's that I got there's no like knock. It's just like I mentally my capacity, my brain capacity right
so you know how
now
this is all
has to
supposed to
hold
work,
so
right?
much shit other than
Like
that.
like dead ass when you're doing
Yeah.
content, right? It isn't a solo sport. Like, do you think we putting out 1,000 videos if Chris Chrome wasn't editing and I was handling copy and blah blah blah? Like, we had to divide and conquer, and that's the problem.
Exactly.
Is that like it really is a 5-6 person team that would get together, and then I'm gonna be real. This is where most teams struggle. Somebody's job has to be the decision maker, the actual
Mm.
owner of the project who has the veto because they're the expert on XYZ or whatever. And
Yeah.
that's where other projects fail. Because the second that is a realization, like nobody seems to fully understand project management. Like this isn't like an ego thing. It's like the project manager's job is to make sure all the specialists do what they're supposed to do. So
Yeah.
like the video guy should be focusing on video shit. The graphics
Yeah.
guy on graphics. Artists, well, we can pretend there's a world where artists can focus on artists, so they should find hustles that fit into the bigger picture.
Right.
So, and then there is got to be the who storyboards the shit. Like, so you got to have some script writers. Like, we never holler at the fucking writers that do YouTube sketches to help us create content. As I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, this is a valid criticism of myself, Holden. But like, we don't really holler at the people that make the kind of content that we need to make to collaborate with them. And they probably need instrumentals for their shits. And there's plenty of trades that could happen in life that we don't exploit because we too busy hanging out with rappers all the time.
Okay, let me ask you something. When you're thinking about content, this much as content, where do you get time to think about the rest of life?
All the time. I mean, my brain don't really stop, so I read books and shit.
No, no,
And
no, no,
like,
no, no, no. No, I'm
and
not
like,
talking about books. I'm talking about like, okay, here's my plan. I want to be living here, here. I want to be doing
Oh,
this. Like, is this
so
all surrounded by content?
no, the content's a manifestation of the bigger plan. So it's gonna sound crazy. Do you remember Ty Lopez?
Yes.
So I watched Ty Lopez's podcast on H3H3, and Ty
Okay.
Lopez just said everything that you would pay him to say, because that's how it
Okay.
works. You always give all the content you get away for free. People will still pay you for it. It's fine. So I watched his thing, and he really went over like manifesting your thing, 10-year plans, working backwards, and this is right around when I started behind that suit, right around that era of my life. So I say in 2016, and I realized I was too old to sell tickets, which is a reality that is different. I can't sell tickets alone. I have to sell tickets with either somebody. That's why it's going to be Holden and somebody for a minute, because as a team we can sell more. It's a fact. Solo people past 27, 28, good fucking luck. So I'm not like thinking about where I want my life to be at like 40, and I know what I want to be at 40. So part of that has me writing books, actually, is my main focus. And like I'm writing history books on Montreal Hip Hop. So what am I doing now? I'm out in the streets meeting people. I'm capturing this shit. So I'm trying to put together the pieces I need now so that when I'm 40, I'm not miserable trying to, figure it out then. And then in the meantime, it's just like, but we're talking like a plan that I've been marinating on since 2016. So it's like we're at a point where content ideas are kind of coming out, but I'm always thinking about who I want to be, the best version of myself, how to improve. Like I will replay my day and be like, okay, this was my social faux pas. I said this dumb shit. I probably made this op over here. Like I low-key accidentally maybe dissed Space Mandela while freestyling, and I don't know if he's mad at me or not. So I'm going to find that out in the future. But I was on stage and I thought about what I said after, and so I had to chastise myself. Like, so it's always this constant flow of like trying to achieve this state of when I'm 45 years old, what is my life going to be? And it's pretty grandiose, because if you only achieve 10% of grandiose, you're balling. So dream as big as you fucking want, have the craziest ideas. And yeah, it's just, honestly, it makes me, I don't care about a lot of things is what happens. So like, I don't care about things that are outside of my scope a lot. And I have to really focus on remembering that what's important to other people is really important. Like this interview series is the greatest shit I ever did, because it just forced me to learn how to care about things I don't necessarily care about.
Like what?
Like toys. But now I can care about toys by watching your passion and your interest and you telling me about it and all that other shit, because, I mean, it's a fucking interview. I kind of have to listen, or I'm being bad at that. Right. I started, you start developing more of an interest in things outside of your scope and things like that. But, man, I could nonstop think about the next 10 years of my life. I could talk about it incessantly.
I mean,
on multiple angles.
This stuff, as you said, you got to teach yourself to care about toys. This is not like. So put it this way, I can break it down like this. I see your plan, and I see how you use social media and content as a part of your plan, as a means to get to it. And I understand that why you saying that, because we are probably having the same plan. I am probably a little bit years more advanced in the terms of planning. Whereas
your plan's going a little more right wing, mine's going a little more left wing.
Not even right wing or left wing. Don't put me in that category. It's more or less, I didn't have social media as a fallback or as so much as a tool, because I know that I'm not popular like that. Okay, sorry. I am popular like that. I don't like playing the game like that. I stay away from playing the game.
Honestly, it wasn't even like I care. Like, people might think I like it, but like, I just
You love playing the game. Stop it. You love this content shit, boy. You love it. You love it. You live, you thrive in this shit.
Well, I mean, you probably thrive at IT, right? And you probably low-key love it.
No, I do it to make money, boy. I don't love shit. It's funny. I love very, very few things.
So
very few things.
Look, I went to work, and
that's
I didn't know how to. When I started my job, at the software company. I didn't know
Yeah.
how to reset the router to reset mega upload back in the day. I didn't know how to do that conceptually.
Yeah.
So I started learning technology and all this other shit at work because I was doing customer service for years. Then I started rapping, right? And then all of a sudden, I became a trainer, and I found out that there's parallels in life, and you should always exploit parallels because when you're standing in front of a room for 40 hours a day teaching, you're spitting. You gotta have the same level of tonality control, all of it. Like, you might not think it's not rapping, but it's the performing side. So low key, I'm a good performer because I was a corporate trainer. You gotta make people hyped about fucking Windows, bro. You gotta explain antiviruses and shit to people. Okay, like
Yeah.
rap is easy. Rap, like, people they're at the show, they want to be there. Nobody wants to learn about antiviruses ever, even when they're getting paid. So you go through some shit like that, and then they taught me about webinars and doing tutorial videos and shit. And I'm like, wait, this is also remarkably similar to rapping. Going, hey everyone, welcome to Soda PDF's How To Tuesday. That shit's rapping. It's just not rapping. And so you do these voiceover shits where you have to adopt voices, maintain rhythms, frequencies, notes, all of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's not rapping, but it's so similar that, like, you're like, wow, so by doing content, I get good. Then I started writing blogs and shit. Now I literally have more than 10,000 hours of practice writing professionally. Not like whatever. People can say what the fuck they want, but I'm a professional writer because I get paid to write. That's basically the main thing I'm good at is I write well and I can organize information super succinctly for reports and shit. So all of that got me into this content world because content's just a modern manifestation of communications and shit. So it's like an evolution of just my corporate career, right? Like, you go from teaching and then you realize that the best vessel for teaching is to leverage content because otherwise nobody gives a fuck. So you start realizing, oh, if I talk to you about something, you don't care, but if I make YouTube videos about it, you care. If I make a short, you'll listen to me. Why? These people are like hollering at me about these reels I'm posting, but if I were to literally try to talk to you about it, you would not care.
Mm.
So it's like, I give a fuck about being heard on some probable low self-esteem bullshit, like from as a kid, whatever.
Feel that.
And
I hear you.
literally everyone tells me I'm super smart to a point where, like, I try not to even talk about it because it's awkward, and I have a plethora of fucking ideas. So what am I going to do with it? If God gave me these gifts, I should be doing everything in my power to leverage the tools at my disposal to spread the message that I believe should be spread, which is honestly, take yourselves a little less seriously. Let's get that bread. Like, at the end of the day and shit. I mean, that's a simplification and it got a little pompous there, but like, it's weird though. People sometimes say a lot of weird shit to you, and you have to sit there in these positions and remind yourself you ain't shit. Like, I have to go tell myself I ain't shit every day, because otherwise people are gonna big up my ego too much, and it's fucking weird.
That's you. I don't have that problem. That's for sure.
That's fine.
I don't need to necessarily, but I mean, it happens, and I believe that to
Nah,
certain folks.
bro, sometimes people like really praise you a lot, and it's weird, and it's hard to not let it get to your head after a while. Like, and it's not a good look because I'm not cool like that. Like, you have to remember, in the world of cool, Jay-Z's in that conversation. So you have to compare yourself to Jay-Z in a sense in the bigger scheme to understand I'm on some, I could go on for a minute, but like, I'm on some, history will never remember me regardless of what I do is the place I'm at in life. And it's a fucking daunting realization to know that all I'm doing is contributing to a bigger wave and momentum.
God damn, that's dark.
So yeah,
You
this is the
see,
type
like them
all
type
the
of
time.
thoughts will fucking go.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I
I
totally
don't know.
understand why people come at me the way they do, or I get it.
I'm not. I agree, but I'm just happy that I don't have to deal the way you have to. If
But I
that
gotta
makes any
write
kind of
shit,
sense.
right? Like the whole point of all of what I do is to find something to say because I'm a fucking writer and I gotta use my voice. You can use sounds and shit. I gotta like have ideas and words in a literal capacity, and like I've written over 200 songs. So I gotta be like thinking about shit, or what? I'm gonna rewrite the same song 100 times. I mean, if we're talking about love, sure, you're allowed, but otherwise, I have a lot of trouble with that. I mean, this is why I'm never gonna be famous too, right? I could go on some weird Aesop Rock flicks. That's where I'm going now. That's the new target is Aesop Rock, because he can make whatever the fuck he wants and get paid, and that's all I really want to do. I used to
True.
want to be more famous. No, I don't. That
Aesop
shit's
Rock
scary.
could he could go. I was never really a big Atmosphere fan. I mean, sorry, I'm never a big Aesop Rock fan, but I did like few of his songs. Few of them, but
He's
not the
like
biggest fan.
everything since 2016 is really good. Prior to 2016, I totally feel you.
Hmm.
Highly worth reconsidering his career since he learned to be more marketable, I guess. Because at a certain point, you get to a certain age and you realize, I think, like, yo, I used to try to do tricky shit. Like, I took the 48 Laws of Power and schemed it into a verse in order. Nobody cares. I think it's hard. Like, if you're trying some rap reflect shit, like, all the rap geeks should like that, you know? But nobody fucking cared at all. So I was like, okay, why am I trying to do all this impress? I wrote a song called Jargon Nonsense in the style of Big L's Ebonic and fucking criticize corporate America's SaaS model.
Why?
Because I care. It's art. What's the point of art but to express ideas? Like, I'm not trying to be a rapper. Like, you may not love the concept I have for the song on that nice 7-minute beat you gave me, but in my head, I just visualize the story in
Oh
this
yeah, I want to
movie.
listen. Legit, I want to kill you. I was like, this nigga took this 7-minute beat I made, and he did what? What the fuck
It's
is he even?
amazing. It's so
And your
fucking great.
syllables are nuts.
It's proper. I'm telling
I'm
you,
like,
this is
Holden, I gave you the beat, and you literally are skipping the fuck over it.
yo. It's no, but it's
Like,
like a whole like, bro. I even slowed it down and put pauses and put a whole bunch of effort into like actually make it a marketable flow and shit. Like
I
it's not.
know, I
It's
know,
a
and I'm
big
like,
ass
this
compromise on
boy
my end.
watching it.
But trust, bro, I'm telling you, I'm seeing something with this, like, and then there's a story to it, which we could turn into a hella fucking fire music video and shit. I'm picturing the live performance and all of these elements put together. Yo, I'm telling you, that's gonna be like a set one day. I just dropped that 7 minutes, bam, that's the set. Fuck out of here. You're only giving me 10 minutes. You're just getting this
I
whole
mean,
song.
that'd be awesome and
Also,
hilarious, but
no, I just want to put people on it, so it's not just me. I want to have a girl singer, and it's gonna slay that shit.
please
And
make sure she can sing. I will approve that.
that's
I'm
fine.
one of those producers that'll
No,
literally be like, listen, if this bitch is ass,
that's
nah,
fine.
man, no.
That's fine. Totally fine. And then I hollered at Basics, and Basics loved the concept and is down to jump on it and play a part to like move the story along.
What are you guys about to do? All right.
Yo,
I'll
you,
let you. I'll let you rock opera my shit
it's
or whatever.
you gave me a 7-minute beat that evolved. I was like, bro, I waited a long time to get one of these.
Like, yeah, it's hanging around. I was on my folder, chilling, was in a
Yo,
movie.
dead ass, I'm so proud. It's like, I'm not even gonna lie, it's my like Jesus of Suburbia song.
What have I done? Oh my god!
It's literally about the existential dread of trying to deal with the lack of specialness and shit that really comes with like adulting when you realize we were basically and effectively lied to non-fucking stop. I'm telling you, it's so good, bro. I'm telling you, I know, but I'm telling you, this shit,
told me it was gonna be hard.
this shit is gonna connect, and
You
that's what's
probably will,
important.
and that's when I'm going to be like, fucking Holden.
Look, man, I know because I'm taking my time on this shit, dude. Like I'm gonna rewrite the fuck out of things if I have to. There's gonna be no corny shit. Everything is gonna get reworked because this beat's too
That's
good.
super funny. That's funny.
I mean, in my head, I'm like, there's no way Skinny's gonna like this.
You may or may not, but it's not like I'm going to tell you, like, take it down, make it disappear.
Nah, I mean,
My
Sky. I'm
career,
gonna pay
that's
Sky
my
to mix this
name.
shit. We gonna get it done like nice, and Well, tell Sky to not fuck around with your beat, because Sky like to do
Lance
some
can't
work.
be on it. That's my only thing. Lance can't be
What?
on it. It's
Who?
just Lance can't be on it. J Star can't be on my track.
That's fine.
No,
I don't think he
don't
wants
be
to
no
be on
J
this.
Stars on my track. And I love J Star. I'm
To be
joking with
fair,
him, but he
JS No
has a.
Regard is pretty fucking solid lately.
Oh yeah, I know, but he
because
has
I be
a
like,
10-year waiting gap for my shit.
anyway,
We have a
that's
10-year
between you and
waiting
him.
gap for
He's my
beats.
man's right now. We be doing moves together. I got nothing
I
but
know.
love for him. So I
I
gotta
love
just.
dude. He's cool. He's cool. He's cool. It's just for the skinny beats, he's got a 10-year waiting gap, and he knows why.
That's
That's all.
fine.
He knows why.
I don't think it's not my business. Is all I'm gonna say. Actually, that's what I'm trying to
It's your
say.
business. It's definitely he's the only rapper that threatened to punch me in my face and recorded in my basement. That's one fact. And I will say that about JS No Regard. This guy recorded in my basement, used up my heating, and then turned around and threatened to punch me in the face over some dumbin shit.
All
So
I
for
can
me,
say is I'm
you
working
don't
with the
get to touch these beats for the next 10 years. And I love you,
growing
JS.
JS, and whether or not he wants to or not, that's all between y'all. And I'm just gonna,
Nah, I'm
you
just playing
know,
with him. I'm just playing with him. You know, I play with people and I'm just playing with him.
nah. But
Still can't
JS is.
jump on my beat though. Yeah, he's good. He's been riding with you guys for a minute. Like you
I
guys
mean,
been
he's
getting
the
really
reason
well.
I'm opening for Paul Wall. So
There you
like,
go.
say what
There
you
you
will,
go.
but like, I guess at a certain point in life, you have to just measure the blessings of the people, like the people who do things for you.
Hmm.
Maybe I don't always get along with people. I'm like, oh my gosh, JS and I have had some moments, but the value of the situation is great if we're being pragmatic. And I think at the end of the day, if you want the bag, all the ego shit gotta die. So I had to. I mean, I saw what could happen if I piss off some people and I make some poor choices with my words and I have a flagrant disregard for other people. It's a bad look and it makes my life harder. So I'm just trying to dead my ego. Anything that could like get in the way of bread right now seems like a terrible fucking idea to pursue.
See, and that could get in a dangerous situation because ego can yes, can ego can kill bread too, but don't kill your integrity for the bag.
Nah, but I'm not saying like that. I'm saying like I have vision, right? Like I
Oh,
mean, arguably I'm stubbornly still pursuing interviews and shit. Like I have the vision for my big plan, but in the little sense, it's like we can throw shows and have a bunch of little petty shits going on, or we can throw shows and keep it about business and make sure that we're thinking about what is going to have the best return on investment. Well, we'll get the most people in the room. How do we scale up? How do we reduce costs? Like, if you're not having those conversations, are you really creating a business together, or is it just homies hanging out and doing shit?
true,
And
true.
like, I'm 35, my G. Like, I don't have a kid, but that means I should be treating everything I do here like it's my kid, because y'all can still, with the energy, you have all this extra energy. What do you like? That's like, I mean, come on. If I had a kid, I couldn't do what you're doing. Like, I'd be more like you. Is what I'm
Don't
trying to
say that.
say. I'd
Don't
be
say
a
that,
lot more at
Moniker.
home. I wouldn't be able to be out 4 nights a week.
You could still be out for 4 nights in a week. You just be a shitty parent.
But I couldn't, because like I wouldn't
You
want to
could
be
because there's people who grind and still do it, and
like,
they make it work, and
I don't
it
really
works for
see
them.
it. I mean, I suppose, but at 35, it's a hard sell to be at bars trying to hustle pickle shirts that you're barely moving.
If
You
that's your
know.
only means of getting some, and only means of income, and you still have
No, but
that
that's the
baby, you
thing
need
is,
to
in this
report on that.
era, like, come on, we both know that I could probably find other incomes at a computer at this point.
Yeah,
If we're talking about
yeah.
some real shit, like, you don't need to leave your crib
But
anymore.
will it hurt your soul? Because then at that point, if it's not
Well,
healthy,
I mean,
put
if
it
we're
this way.
talking about the situation where I literally need to be out and missing my kid's life to get bread, then I don't think it matters as much.
Well, okay, so then there's a lot of that too, because people put in like you're out and you're missing your kid's life. Listen, your kid sleeps a lot in those first years, so you're not missing much. Your kid sleeps a hell of a lot, more than you know. So you actually can get quite a bit done in those first 3 years. Not only that, the grind is especially more crucial when you have that kid. So no matter what, you'll find some way to make bread, whether it's not. But what's first and foremost, if your soul is hurting, doing what you're doing for that bread to even put food on their tape on their plate, their soul's hurting, you can't raise them with the love that you want. So you might as well be doing something you love because you got to take that love and turn it back and give it to your kid.
I suppose it is worth adding the caveat that I am a person that can go on a freelance site and get paid to write words. So in my case, it's a really fucking hard sell to convince people I should go to bars to like I'm building shit for the future. I'm building shit so that when I throw events, people come with this like in 2025, I will finally get that grant money and be profitable.
Mm.
So it's long plays, right? But like in short term, come on, I have to like actually figure out money because honestly, all it is losing money. I don't know about your side of it. I don't think your whole podcast empire. I don't know if it's profitable, if it makes crazy money, but my shit ain't making money like that.
Uh, okay. I gets money so that everything I do, I don't have to. It doesn't need to be make money. So I don't put as much into what we do. We just do for the art. And should it have hurt us? It probably has hurt us. Uh, does it get us to more people? Probably not. But at the end of the day, we're happy. Chops very much wants to empire this shit, and I'm very much part of it to empire with him, and I guide him and be there with him. But end of the day, as I tell many people, like I may be podcast poppy now, but give me 3 4 years. Listen, the podcast poppy thing came about out of me trying to keep my name out there while production wasn't going or while I was waiting on a project to drop. I'm a Gemini by nature. We don't like people. I want to talk every week, especially on a schedule. Are you kidding me? And then I have a kid, and then if more come, boy, like I'm asking to get out, which is probably why you see me putting my foot back in so much. It's because I needed that break. And I needed to get my face on the camera. But now that I have the balance of what's in the box with Skinny and I do the toy stuff where yeah, we still gotta touch on Pheromone and all the other things. You've been killing me with this content talk. We even talk about crazy the neat and gritty of more rappers being into you for your toys and what you do there, and then cycling that back into hey, I
Yo,
also
hold
do
on.
music.
Pharaoh Monch cares about your toys?
Nigga, Paramount, DB Ozzy Beats, Talib Kweli. Shoot, there is for a little. I got a glimpse from Conway, but then I gotta pretend like I didn't see that because I didn't want to say anything. Benny got throwing some stuff out there. There is a few rappers mess with this toyish.
That's fucking
A few
wild.
producers, a lot more producers. DB Ozzy Beats, Eloquent, Husk Kingpin. A lot of people are looking and messing with on the toy tip, and they don't even know I do the music. It's the also no, that's the part of my chameleonism. Is like, yeah, I do this stuff that you're attracted to, but I also do this. So we are kind of kindred minds and spirits in that sense, and
They probably feel some hip hop in your artwork.
I mean, it's there in the reels, it's there in the background. Hip hop and Marvel are like peanut butter and jam. So, and they do those hip hop covers, and that kind of covers it too. So it's kind of like it's weird, but most urban kids who came up, especially if you black, you came up and you kind of leaned more towards Marvel because just DC just seemed a little too cookie cutter. Too, no one was really feeling Batman and Superman, where you had like, oh, these guys are freaks, and they got this beautiful woman, and she has like white long hair, she controls weather, like that's Storm, like that who I mean, that's a beautiful queen. And you're looking at that versus DC shit, and you're like, I'm going to lean over this way. So most of us, you came up with that nerd and that Marvelism, and then you just kind of lean towards
So
hip hop too.
basically, Wonder Woman versus Storm goes to Storm.
No, because some dudes are still going to like Wonder Woman if you came up on the old 70s show. But in terms of just what you identify with, yeah, you're going to go for Storm. You're going to go for someone
Nah,
that's
facts.
more,
But even without the female element,
yeah.
I grew up with the 90s cartoons. I mean, Marvel smoked DC.
There you go.
It was
There you
just
go.
done. I don't remember fuck all from DC back then, but all the Marvel joints is shit you remember and talk about to this day with people.
That's it. That's kind of, the Spider-Man, the X-Men cartoon, Iron Man, Fantastic Four, all that joint. That's what kind
Oh
of,
my god,
yeah.
Fantastic Four! I forgot it. But that's hard.
So yeah, this this kind of pod thing, I love it, and I might be doing it for a little bit longer, but I don't see myself, because you got to take a break, especially when you do a weekly show. You gotta,
Yo, I
you
just took
gotta,
off like 8 months.
right? And like I think we took a break for between Christmas, and then we came back for 73. And 73 is probably my favorite episode because it's so fresh and genuinely funny versus trying to find a conversation. And like you gotta remember, so I'll do Geektastic every Wednesday. I do Geektastic Cypher every Wednesday. Infinity Equation, which is a toy podcast that's not even in my, so we have Franklin Armstrong slash Free X Agents is the pod group, which
Right.
Chop Vision, Detour, Warning Wolves, Geektastic Cypher, that's all in that camp. And then I'm also in Infinity Equation, which is an American-based toy show with all these American toy collectors, and they do their joint every Friday. These are like 40-year-old guys, and this is their only
Yo,
pod they
that's
do.
actually like a big flex because in a sense, you're getting out the city without getting out the city.
Dude, I was recruited. The man's like, "Hey, you want to join this pod?" I'm just like, "You're based in Delaware, so on and so forth." And this is not even about like he works for NBC, and we're looking to possibly get syndicated on NBC television out there based off of what the content we're doing with that. I'm not trying; it just happens. But that would be cool. But I don't want to do that forever. So it's really just like I really just want to make beats, give it to people, have people like rap over my stuff. Maybe not catch a Grammy. A Juno would be cool. Hell, if I could perform at Jazz Fest, I'd be happy with that. And then I just want to play with my toys, buy a house, and smoke weed in it. That's it. Raise my kids, chill out. That's what I want to do. I was into the fame. I was into the wanting a Grammy and all that stuff. And then at the end of the day, I'm just like, like polar ice caps really be melting real fast, and shit's going down. Not on my age, not in my era, but maybe a couple eras after that.
Like your kid might be going through some hard times is the real truth of it.
I got 20 years left working. Really, what I do for a job is not backbreaking, but it's a little bit tiring. I'm cool. I'm
Nah,
super good with
broski,
that.
like I worked in an office since I'm 20. Like all I think about is how the fuck can I make traveling my form of income? So
Mm,
I'm not. So, yeah, that's it's about utility, right? I have an
mm,
idea. I want to travel and get paid. How do people actually do this? So now I have to do food reviews. It only makes
yeah,
sense. I
yeah,
mean, do I want to make food reviews? I don't know. I haven't tried it really. I did. It
right,
sounds not terrible, but it sounds like a lot more tax write-offs than not making food reviews, and I still gotta eat when I travel.
right.
So it's like that's how all content works now for me. That's how my whole life thinks. Honestly, people
My,
around me do not like me sometimes because I will do that with everything.
yeah, just I can see that. I can see that. I don't know. My grind right now is like my whole perspective is that the years I have left is just to maximize my time so I could just raise my family, make sure they're happy. And in terms of everyday work, I could stick it out and grind at this job for 20 years and also grind at this extracurricular activity, hoping it catches for 15 to 10. Or, you know, I could just continue to do the grind thing and be all right. And
I
I think I'm
mean,
probably going to continue to do the grind thing and be all right. That's more or less like it in terms of time and weight. The everyday 9 to 5 seems to be kind of working out for me. It's not like I kind of gave up, but it's also like, music
yeah, but
industry ain't gonna, you know what I
no,
mean?
no. But here's the thing. I like between 2016 and let's say the end of COVID, I wasn't really performing a lot because there was no money in it, and I made more money
Mm,
going to work. And to be honest, I don't think I'd be able to do some of the stuff I'm doing now if I hadn't spent years and years and years not doing shit, right? And it's just kind of what happens when you elevate. So, I mean, your wedding budget's pretty high, so the fact that you can afford that shows that if you're at this place in life and you stack, then you're in a place in life where you can do things other people have done, where you can put up
mm.
20K into a move. The next crypto thing that pops up, you have that bread now because you know, like these are the things that happen when you elevate. So I would never put the passion down because like yo, all you need to do is take better vacations. My costume, like
Not so much put the passion down, but like just do it while also doing the other thing.
yeah,
You have more fun with it when you're not depending on the passion to get you out, and when you're not looking at it as an escape.
But if you look at it all like skill acquisition, right? Like the difference between writing a knowledge based article and writing a blog article about a Montreal hip hop project is virtually nothing. It's the same skill. Different, you just focus somewhere it's interesting. And then if you can find ways to, that's what everyone's pretending they want to do in life. You figure out your skills, and then how do you take your interest and monetize that shit? You know, like that's where when you go to work, you develop skills. Like my skill set that came from working in an office environment where I was forced to do data analytics and all this shit that I didn't care about and you would never learn as an artist. Because of work, I learned a whole bunch of shit and it's so useful as an artist. So it's like, nah, I encourage everyone to go get promoted. I don't mean go to work. Go get promoted. Go move the fuck up. Go see what people who are worth $500,000 a year live like, because when you watch them move every day, you get to understand what money moves. Like people talk a lot of shit, but like you can tell a lot about a person by how they feel about an RRSP. Because if you think an RRSP is the be all end all of a retirement fund, then you have never met millionaires.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
And
But
like
then it's also yeah, I hear that.
and a lot of millionaires come from places like us. They're just more ruthless. Like they're not afraid. They will crush anybody, any foul thing.
I know, but you also got to think about what they did to get that million.
Do that's why like I don't think
And
I'll ever. I think I'll be like one of them dudes that can turn 100,000 into $1 million by my 40s.
I mean, in a morally sound way, I hope.
Nah, yeah, but like to that end, it'd be like the company makes this money, and I'm making my little 50K a year, and I just spend that much money a year. That
Hmm.
sounds fun, though, right? It sounds really fun.
A little, if it's your cup of tea.
I mean, it's all on people. I gotta pay video editors. I think I gotta pay for clothing. Apparently, that's fucking super important. So like, there's all these costs that come up, and then as you move up in life, your costs on all these different elements go up. Like, I can't afford to buy $30 shoes anymore. I mean, I could literally afford it, but I don't think I should. I don't think I should ever walk out the house with some garbage-looking shoes no more.
Why?
Because I chose to be in hip hop, and it
Hmm.
matters that much to all the people in the community I'm a part of.
Does it? Does it really?
It does. Really. It's a key fundamental element. If you were to really talk to people from you want to talk that origin of hip hop talk and you go bring it back to Brooklyn and New York and all that shit. Yeah, fashion would be an unofficial element of hip hop that would be considered with equalness to the bars, and it is as important to have your own stylistic uniform as part of the representation of your brand as everything else. If you're talking about the actual purest hip hop, you could talk on some real shit. That's why clothes are referenced the entire time. Because
Hmm.
when you don't have the ability to acquire wealth on some real shit, though, like to make it real, when you don't have the ability to acquire wealth, all you have is the ability to flex your fashion and style. It becomes the manifestation of your wealth.
Well, you don't have to tell me that. I mean, yeah, we've been trying to tell you guys that, and then you guys are like, "Why do you have such big chains?" Just
So
Holden was breaking it
I
down
gotta
in a way that
respond to
everyone can
this.
understand.
Rico Blocks says, that's a wild take. Wear what the fuck you want. The person makes the clothes fly, not the other way around. He might be right.
He
Maybe,
might be
sort of.
right,
To
but
some degree. Shein is a wonderful fucking site. It's not necessarily about spending money. It's about dressing for the room. So what I realized is the room I need to get into, the average cost of the fit went up. Because what you want to do is get invited to the after party because you look like you belong in the room. And that's actually on that networking tip really part of the game. So if you go to a fancy occasion and you don't look like you could be standing next to the CEO, you're not smoking a joint with the CEO. And you kind of want to smoke the joint with the CEO.
mm,
I mean, I'm simplifying it, okay? Y'all can attack it. We're a few hours deep now, so whatever. Y'all can attack the specifics. But the reality is, like, Eminem been wearing sweats and hoodies before and after success. Fine, but the quality of his hoodies went way the fuck up.
and it's also Eminem and he was wearing like Jordan. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and versus what, yeah, I
Yo,
hear you.
yeah, people try to pull that too, but like all of my favorite indie rappers are wearing name brand fucking skater shit. So what are you saying? Like they're all wearing expensive shit.
No, no,
Everybody
no.
that's
It is.
famous.
It's because it comes with eventually when you have a, yeah,
I
you
mean, I
can
know it's all
afford to.
free and or they get the money or however they get it, but I honestly believe that the more I dress like a rapper when I'm not rapping, ironically, because I wear the suit when I rap, but the more I dress like a rapper, the more regular people come hit me. Like, I get asked if I'm performing at shit all the time I'm not performing at now. So, like, I'm communicating to the audience. Bro, I'm copying. I saw this pair of Balenciaga and Adidas's. I want them, and I'm gonna cop these Balenciagas one day.
The high fashion I don't go to. You'll see me in a
Bro,
few
I saw the
Dunk
shoe.
or Air Jordan,
It's
but
and it's not even that much. It's $350. It's like whatever. I'd spend.
that's a lot. That's a lot for shoes, bro. That's a lot.
I hear you, but then it's like, so what happened was is I listened to a fucking your podcast right after I was talking to Poison Pen about shoes and them. So it's all like got me onto the shoe shit. So I just kind of got into shoes more. And now it's like if I want that shoe and I can picture myself wearing that shoe, it might take me 5 years, but I'm gonna buy that shoe one day.
$350 on one pair of shoe,
Yeah, but
dog.
you could flip that shit used and it'll probably make more in 5 years. That's what I also learned about the shoe market.
Yeah, but then you can't wear them that often.
I
And
mean,
then you have a $350 shoe that you eventually want to flip, so
well,
then you can
so
only wear that
so
twice.
then it's like I was talking to Showbiz, and Showbiz was like, there's certain rooms that you want to have that pair of shoes in. Because everybody's shoe
Yes.
in that room is going to be $5 or more, and you don't want to be, and they're going to know that your shoe. I know it's weird, but now that I learned that there's entire codes and people that operate on these rule sets, I will adhere to it. So, people can judge me all they want. I'm a marketer. This is how you perceive the fucking world when you're in marketing. You look at, okay, so if I'm in a room full of people that are looking fly as fuck, maybe I should
Mm.
have a $500 pair of Jordans or something for that one or two times I need to be in that one or two
What you
rooms.
should have is the $20 pair of shoes, and if you're gonna show out, have yourself the $5,000 watch.
I can't afford that yet, so I'm going into a scale of what I
You
can
could
afford.
afford it if you save all the way up and just go right to the five
I mean,
thousand
I'm
dollar
not
watch.
copying
No
fucking
one's gonna say
$500 shoes
nothing.
every time. I've never even bought that. I bought this one pair at $250 because I felt like it was the perfect pair of shoes and I needed it. And so $250 I felt I could justify.
What I'm saying is ultimately it'll save you because no one's gonna watch nothing if you are walking a $5,000, albeit used or whatever. It's still a Rolex over a 500 or 200 or $300 pair of shoes.
There's
The
layers
value
to
on
it.
Rolexes go
We
up,
get to the
and no one's
Rolex
gonna
next.
disrespect you for a Rolex. If
I
anything, they're gonna
mean,
look up to you and be like, "He's got a Rolex."
yo, but I'm going to get. Okay, let's go one step further. I'm not trying to get robbed for my Rolex.
No one's gonna rob you for your Rolex. You're less likely to be robbed for your Rolex than you are for your $500 pair of shoes.
I don't know if that's true or not because I really
Yes, because
don't.
people see you with the Rolex, and people like, okay, he knows investments. He's not gonna just be out here with that watch unless it's. And then with the shoes, it's like, well, he went and bought these shoes. He's either a hype beast or he's a goofball or he's flipping these. So he probably has more where these came from. It's a different. You'll be more likely to be. I just think you're more likely to be robbed for your shoes versus a Rolex. Cat, you can
I'll take
disagree
your
with me.
word for it. I don't really know, bro. I be navigating this life hoping that this shit doesn't happen and just being prepared that at some point I might get punched in the face.
But
But
it's also where you're at in mentally and like
I mean, like,
life
I'm
wise.
not gonna go out of my way to cop like a $500 pair. I said three. The pair I saw was $350, and I was like, I
Like you're
bought it.
250. What's the difference? Like you
Well,
like,
what? A
what?
new pair of shoes is $160, and you can get a pair of shoes as cheap as $50. So if you're gonna spend $160, what's the fucking difference? To me, that's how I had to justify it. Spending $160 on a pair of shoes, to me, bro, to get to that point in life took me years. You can ask anybody that knows me how cheap I'm talking Walmart shits. I'm talking $30. I'm talking the ghetto. Like, I won't say ghetto, but like, bro, if that shit cost more than $40, I was out. Okay, for like until I'm in my 30s and shit. So then all of a sudden, I embraced the styles shit. Okay, like you commented on my fit.
You ain't never been fly.
Never.
Damn.
Never been fly like that. Not one
That
time.
that must
That's
have hurt
half the
too.
reason I went
Okay.
to the suit, because you don't have to try that hard. You just wear a
Or with
suit.
the suit,
Easy,
yeah.
easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? You know what? No real need. You can wear the same suit.
Yeah. Cause that almost like, well, if you've been fly as a kid, then you just
No, it
know
was
that
not,
you
bro.
just you
Don't
keep
wanna
a pair of
I don't want
Nikes.
to put my parents on blast, but we talking some real sweatpants vibes and shit. Like, not the
What
cool
the-
kind.
I discovered
No,
sweat
no. Yo,
now in my 30s, and you have
my
to beg me
mom's
to.
likes Crocs way too much for the like before it was cool and shit. Like, I'm just saying, we came from the comfort vibes, bro. It's all about the comfort vibes.
That is crazy. That is super funny and crazy. That's
And what's
cool.
crazy is though, and as much as people can judge me for it, since I upped my flyness, we'll call it, and I put more effort into my fit, and I that is one of the biggest catalysts of my career changing more than all of the other shit, because people notice it and they're like, I stand out now at shows and I look like I take my shit more seriously. I assume that's what it is. I'm trying to match colors, bro. That's all I'm trying to do. Make sure the colors aren't too fucking awful. That's it. Because I used to
That
give no
that
fucks.
that's madness to me when someone says to me, "I'm trying to match colors."
Dude, it's
I
not it's not a natural skill, broski.
It is though. It
To
should
you.
be. You know what colors
Why?
are?
Yeah,
What a
but
rainbow
nobody.
is? How the fuck do you not know what colors
I'm a
don't go together?
writer, bro. I'm like I write. I'm like
Nothing. Can you
numbers.
see? Are you colorblind? Then you could. Can you
I'm
make
not
a rainbow?
colorblind, but I don't
Then you.
necessarily have good taste up until I had to go. Okay, so I learned about color wheels this year or last year doing fucking shit for work, and I'm not gonna lie, that helped a lot for me to like, you gotta understand, like, anyway, not my forte. Miko Blocks' expertise, not my Miko Blocks is riding with us. He's a real fucking one.
What do you? I'm, so you're thinking? What are you thinking? Brown and blue goes together? What? I'm trying
Bro,
to
I
find
just
a.
never cared. It was like, okay, this is comfy, this is comfy, this is comfy. Fuck all the dead ass. And then you learn that ain't nobody inviting that dude to the party.
No, not that guy. Not the
So
brown
like,
and lime green guy.
so basically, I know it sounds so contrived, but if my job is to be a rapper in my 30s, I'm not supposed to look broke.
The watch
People
would help
got.
you. That's all I'm saying.
I
The watch will
mean,
help.
I can't afford the watch, so what am I gonna do?
You can afford the shoes. You can afford the watch
Bro,
eventually.
how much is the watch?
5K.
That's a lot more than 250 for a pair of shoes.
5K is
A lot more.
if you're living right. 5K is like three paychecks.
Yeah, but I have a whole bunch of. I have to travel how many times in the next 3 months? Rap shit, blah blah blah. Like,
Yeah,
it's
three
like a
paychecks.
hard. It's a. But you know what you. So what I found out in my sneaker quest too is you're supposed to get yourself to 8 to 12 pairs of shoes as fast as possible so that none of them wear out too quick. So
Yeah.
partly why I bought a lot of shoes fast was that, and you need a couple of nicer pairs and a couple of whatever. So like,
Yeah, I've been at that. Been at 12 or yeah. You have a rotation of beaters. You get 8 to 12 so that you have a rotation of four beaters in the main colors. And then you have your specialties that you only pull out for certain situations. Yes.
and I agree with Rico. It's not about the brand. I actually try to avoid brands a lot, unless it's my pickle shit. So y'all can cop that pickle shit. In fact, that happened. Now it's like I have to wear pickles everywhere. So it's like fuck everyone else's brand for the most part. But if I'm gonna rock a brand, it's gonna as much as possible be a Montreal something, because that's how
Mm.
hip hop do. You rep your city. So like repping regulators is repping LaSalle and shit. So like repping fucking grimy is repping the city. Repping different things like that to me matters.
That works.
Or I'll rep my own
I've,
shit now.
I might just make my own shit. I'm not giving anyone any more free advertisement. Ever since I gave someone like a colorway idea, and I expected just for giving the colorway idea, you're at least gonna hook me up with the sweatshirt. On some like, hey, you gave me this idea, and that idea for said colorway is giving me boku bread. And then
Mm.
Ninja's expecting me to pay for it, and I was just like, nope, never again. Sorry, Montreal brands. I'm done.
I
Then I just
mean,
I was
For
like,
me,
nah, I'm
it's
out.
like it was made clear to me though that a lot of people who get free clothes do a lot more than I do to get free clothes. So I'm just trying to do enough interviews with enough famous people that people want that product placement shit. Grimy got 15,000 fucking views off of me.
There you go.
I don't know. That's my only value right now. Is maybe that happens again if I wear your shit in New York.
Gotta get fly. Gotta get fly.
But
My
yeah,
man,
it's 11:10 and
it's getting to that time where I gotta do hippie hey because
understood.
I
I
gotta
was
be in a
gonna
server room tomorrow.
yeah.
And doing all that company computer guy shit. But I'll give you a strong 10. What do you got for me in this next 10 minutes?
I don't even have that much more. I'm cool like wrapping it up at this point because I don't know. We talked about 3 hours worth of shit, so
Yes, we did.
that's a pretty lengthy conversation. Covered a lot of stuff. You're an interesting one because not a lot of people ask me about me. It's very rare actually. In a couple
Yeah, I
hundred people,
rather I rather talk about you than talk about me. Like I mean, I can talk about me, but
we
that's
talked
what
about
leaves
you a
part
whole.
three interesting. And then, you can't just give them all. You gotta.
Nah, but it's
And
it's
people know
it's
my
it's
story and stuff, and I covered a lot in the 5 hour.
yeah
A
for
lot.
sure. And that's why I was like, yeah, I don't know what we're gonna really do with it. We're gonna wing it. We're gonna just do this one willy nilly. But it's what it has to be, right? Like that's how this show grows because otherwise we bring people back on over time, have a bit more of a. I'm telling you, we should do a live IRL shit. So I'm trying to work
I'm
it out with
down.
the Wheel Club, because I met the owner and I'm gonna try and chop it up. But if it's not there, I'm telling you, we'll make more off of that than rapping. I think because we'll get bar cuts faster.
Mm.
Because all motherfuckers are gonna do is sit at tables and eat their food and drink their drinks while we
Mm.
sit at a table and vape weed and talk.
That's true.
And I just see a lot of people being into that. It's just trying to pitch it more like a comedy show than you would pitch it like a typical hip hop concert.
Mm.
And that's
I'd
the
be down to
general
do
thing.
that.
But yeah. Anyway, it was really good to have you here. For everybody watching this, I'm gonna make sure your links appear in the chat, and then all the links will be in the description of the video. And it's ActionFiggy with one F Skinny on
Yep.
Instagram, and on there is his website or actionfiggyskinny.com with two
Yep.
G's will bring you to the link tree, which gives you all the good shit.
Also check out SkinDeep MTL. Also check out my YouTube page. Also, please very much check out at Chop Vision Podcast. Check out the Infinity Equation. Check out Geektastic Cypher. Just follow Free X Agents on YouTube, and you will find me every Wednesday and Sunday. And I'm out there, man. I'm doing these pods to get people to aware of my face, so that when you hear the music and link it to this guy, you know where it's coming from. Been doing this
Mm.
since a long time. I got a few more years left, but family's growing. SkinDeep's out here. I'm growing as a human, trying to get me a house. In a year and a half, you will see me in a house, new room, new office. Probably be finally married because that was also delayed this year. Boy,
Mm.
I've been trying to get married since 2019. COVID hit, and fires hit, a bunch of things. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. It's your boy, Action Figgy
Appreciate
Skinny.
y'all. So thank y'all for watching. I should have plugged this way earlier, but if you do fucks with what we do, we need money. Patreon.com/behind that suit. I'm way past giving a fuck. We just asking directly. Now support the cause. English media in the city needs that financing. And if you don't want to give it to me, give it to them. Give it to fucking Hustle Podcast. Give it to 514 Online Mix. Give
The
money
podcast
to the
needs to have me
fucking
on the Hustle podcast.
facts.
Just
But
that.
like just give it to the this part of it. Anybody that claims they want an industry has to recognize that there's no industry without the media, and you have to fund the media, or else trust me, it doesn't exist. It's a lot. So patreon.com/behind that suit. And if you're smart and you make music and you want album reviews now while they're cheap, you'll go before I raise the prices, because that's not even a fake shit. I don't really like doing album reviews. The price is going up, but currently you can get them fucking cheaper than they're gonna be. So I'm trying to get those extra Patreon dollars in now. Anyhow, if you're on Twitch, twitch.tv/behind that suit, Amazon subscribe Prime, like, follow, subscribe, comment, judge me, love me, hate me, whatever. Share it. Share this shit. React to us. Fucking all the good shit, man. Spread the word. Gossip, please. Anyhow, I love y'all. It's been super fun. Live long and prosper, everybody.